New residential space is being planned in South St. Louis. KTRS's Vicky Pimentel has more.
A new apartment complex is being planned in Lafayette Square. The St. Louis Preservation Board approved the plans on Tuesday. The St. Louis Business Journal says the building, named 2000 Missouri, will be located at 2350 Choteau Avenue. The 6-story building will include apartments with ground floor retail space. The Choteau site was previously a Vanguard Truck Center location, but has been vacant since at least 2019. Vicky Pimentel, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. A new report is raising concerns about St. Louis County's budget deficit. Officials say the county faces a potential $40 million deficit for the upcoming fiscal year. Budget Policy Coordinator to the County Council, Chris Gron-Howard, warned the council needs to prepare for major cuts to balance the budget. Council members are urging residents to pass Prop U next Tuesday, which would add a 3.5% tax to online purchases in St. Louis County that are made from out of state. A check now on the markets presented by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturdays from 9 until 11 here on the Big 550. At the close, Dow down more than 1,150 points at 51,594. S&P 500 down 112 at 73.16. The NASDAQ down 433 at 24,442. Let's head on over now to the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk. That's where we find the good captain himself, Paul Kopsky. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Brendan. The slumping Cardinals have slipped under 500 for the first time this season. They play Game 3 of a 4-game series with the Cubs tonight at Busch. The Redbirds have been outscored 17-5 in the first 2 games and have lost 5 of their last 6. And St. Louis City SC has officially brought on Carlo Holsa. The former Turkish leaguer from Denmark will occupy a DP spot on the roster and will cost City their largest transfer fee in club history at $6 million. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. An accident on 64 West at Big Bend is causing stop-and-go traffic back to Hampton. The 2 westbound left lanes of the Poplar Street Bridge are closed for road work. That's causing a backup to Barack Obama Avenue, and 5570 East is slow from 64 to Illinois 111. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot. They'll have face painting, concessions, a stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Paul, thank you. That weather forecast, very nice. Continuing, those conditions continuing this afternoon. We're going to be below normal a little bit when it's all said and done with that high temperature in the upper 80s. Then tonight, clear skies will drop down to about 69. Increasing clouds tomorrow with a high in the upper 80s. Rain returning to the forecast by Friday. At 3:09, we've got sunny skies, 87 degrees at Westport Plaza. For the Talk of St. Louis, I'm Brendan Weesey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Heidi, 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 Heidi. Hody, 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 ho. Heedy, 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 heedy. Heidi, 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 ho. Poor man, poor man, poor
Well, happy Wednesday, everybody. The gang is all back together again. Heidi Glaus here with Josh Gilbert, Bob Ramsey, and we've got a lot to get to. Dr. Ravi Johar will join us, and I don't know if you guys are staying up to date with this story about the FDA looking into approving peptides. Do you even know what peptides are? Here's what I know about them. They're in some sort of serum that I use for my eyebrows and my eyelashes. They encourage growth, and it has worked miracles. Other than that, I have no idea what peptides do, but we're going to talk to Dr. Johar about just that and find out, is there any harm in them? How many different kinds are there? Because I was looking at this article and the FDA is looking to approve 7 peptides. I have no idea other than that other little nugget I just sent you. So that's coming up here at 3:30. Also in the 3:30, we will talk about how the storms and outages are causing all kinds of travel snafus. That's with Alex Stone. In the 4 o'clock, Lauren Risley will join us. And it's one of those things, I guess, if you need to get into a new house and you still have a house to sell, you just kind of got to go with it, but it seems awfully stressful to me. And a lot of people want to sell their house first before they buy a house. It's not always the case. And Lauren's going to talk about how you navigate that sort of situation. So we'll talk about that. And if you have any other questions for Lauren, of course, we want to hear from you on the KTRS text line 84126. We'll check in with Royal Oaks, who will give us his legal analyst of Dr. Anthony Fauci on Capitol Hill. What exactly is he being accused of, and why is he back on Capitol Hill? We'll talk about that. We'll also get the latest on what's on the ballot next Tuesday. It is quickly approaching, and Mark Zinn, who covers local and state politics for Fox 2, will join us with that list. We've got some entertainment news, and then we will wrap this show up with some randoms. I did something the other day that I've never done before, and don't judge me for this. And I don't even know if Josh has one of these, but when you get a new phone, I have a case on mine, and I usually do the zag, that protects the glass. Do you have one of those things on?
Yeah.
That,
so
it doesn't crack?
Yeah, I have that.
Okay, so over the weekend, I dropped mine. It cracked. The zag thing, not my phone.
Glass, yeah.
And I can't stand looking at the big scratch.
Uh-huh.
So I went to Best Buy and I bought a new one. And the line for Geek Squad to put it on was about 7 deep, and I didn't want to stand in the line. And do you also know now they don't add that thing for free? You got to pay Geek Squad $7 if you want them to put that thing on.
It's like you ever try to put a decal on the back of your car and then you put it on and it's crooked.
Yep.
Now, what do you do now?
Or it has a bubble in it.
Yeah, bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for all of these years since I've had an iPhone, and when I replace it, I've just handed it over and say, you please do it.
Do it, kid.
It's almost like having a home project that you could do yourself. But every time you see that it is just a hair off, it's going to drive you crazy.
That's why there are professionals,
That's
right?
exactly right. Well, I decided that I was going to put this thing on myself. And it isn't really that hard, but I do have 2 bubbles in it that I can't get out. So
the bubbles.
my question for you guys
Let me see
on
it.
the KTRS text line, you kind of have to look at it carefully. And I've been trying to rub it out. Do you do that yourself, or do you pay them $7 to put that screen on? Can you see the bubble? If you keep rubbing it, it'll come back. Yeah.
No, I don't see. Oh, down here at the bottom. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's a little one over here.
Yes. Yeah. There's about 3 of them that keep.
I don't want to touch it. It's got bubbles.
Yeah.
It's defective.
All right, but Heidi is I think she's on medication for this.
Yes. Lexapro.
She is would you call it what's that thing where everything has to be just right?
OCD.
Are you OCD?
My sister is a psychologist.
She
has
diagnosed
her
you?
doctorate. Probably a little OCD. Not that it's debilitating, but I like things where they are.
I think
the bubble would bother me too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But have you ever tried to do it yourself?
No, I have the kids do it.
Oh, now see, that's something that kids are great for.
Yep.
Why is it so hard to just put it on straight?
And you know what? I also have like a little, I don't know if it's a hair or something underneath it.
Take the whole phone
I
back.
know.
Gosh.
It's crazy. Anyway, I just wanted to know.
You
Somebody
know-
said bought mine at Walmart and they put it on for free,
did it
much
free.
cheaper.
Oh,
yeah,
there you go.
Maybe it's practice makes perfect.
maybe,
So
and
those
they've done
people-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you give you those decals, though, they always say, and I just hung something. We had a bird feeder outside
Mhm.
that you suction cup to the window.
Oh,
And theoretically, you could be inside and the birds fly up. And
How long have you had it?
I think you're like Mary Poppins there. With the birds.
We had it for about 3 weeks now.
Okay, because we had one.
And did it fall?
No, but birds didn't come to it.
Yeah, and I realized they can see through the window.
Yeah.
And they don't really get glass. They don't get it.
And they don't want me to be standing there
Yeah.
while they're eating. They don't know that there's a window between us. But it said clean the window before you stick
Oh, yeah.
on.
Uh-huh.
And normally when I do stuff like that, I never clean the window. And I never do it properly. But this time I'm going to do this the proper way,
Mhm.
and I clean the window. Couldn't believe how clean my windows could get. But when I hang a decal or I do like what Heidi did, they say, "Oh, clean bowl surfaces properly." I'll just stick the thing on and see
Right.
what
It'll be
happens.
fine.
Yeah, and then you get bubbles and hairs.
Mm-hmm. But and I did follow the instructions. A couple people weighing in. Use a plastic credit card. Push the bubble to the ends. You can take the tape and lift that screen back up carefully and get rid of the air bubbles. Also, a hairdryer. Warm it just a little bit.
Oh,
It'll be a little more flexible. Somebody said they paid the $7. Lexapro is the best. And take a needle and put a pin hole to work out the air. All right, those are all great suggestions. Speaking of like using that credit card for something else, some everyday objects that secretly have more than one job. Okay, this is something that is very interesting to me. The raised bumps on your keyboard on the F and the J.
Yeah.
And I know we all have one in front of us. Can you feel it?
Yes.
Okay.
This is to know where to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you know that there were even, I guess I thought each key has a little, but I had no idea that's why they were there.
I never paid much attention.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Figure
know.
they must
yeah.
be Braille.
Yeah, I don't know
I've
if
never-
I.
Oh,
if
yeah,
I,
bump, whatever.
I couldn't tell you if I use them or not because it's so subconscious at this
That you
point.
just go,
But like if you're like inputting and then you go over to the number pad and you type and to come back, you kind of feel around to know, oh, I'm back on the J, you know,
Mhm.
because you hit the number and then you come back and you want to make sure you're at
You
the
know what
right
I
starting
do?
point.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I look down. Now I know that's nuts.
Yeah. How dare
All
you?
right. I think I do that too. I've got friends who are business professionals and they're still pecking
They don't
fine.
teach typing anymore.
Yeah.
No, I
They're-
don't understand how they don't, because I feel
It'd
like
be
we're
more
on.
important now than ever.
That's what I would think. The hole in the pasta spoon drains water and measures about 1 serving of dry spaghetti. Like if you have that,
With the claw thing.
the claw thing,
Yeah.
and you have the hole in there, if you put a bunch of the spaghetti through that,
Oh yeah.
that is
yeah.
about 1 serving,
One
and then
serving.
again you can use that as a scoop.
No way.
How about that?
My
See?
mind is blown.
The small hole at the end of a tape measure can catch onto a nail or screw, which means measuring can be a one-person job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done that before.
The black dots around the windshield protect the adhesive that holds the glass in place, but it also helps with heat distribution.
Yeah.
And the loop on the back of some dress shirts were designed so the shirt could be hung without wrinkling.
I've done that
I,
too.
I've done that too, but not really. Normally you use hangers, but I don't like fancy shirts, but I like them if they're tricked up a little bit. And the loop, while archaic, I kind of like it. It tricks it up a
Gives you a
little bit.
little
So-
attitude.
Little something,
Little something extra.
A little button maybe, or a little pleat on the pocket.
Something a little extra.
Extra.
I'm with you, Bob. Somebody says, why is the keypad on the computer, the number pad, different than the phone keypad? I've always wondered that.
I don't know
I've
either.
always wondered that. There's the one is at the bottom, whereas the phone, it's like completely inverted.
Mm-hmm.
And I've dialed the phone incorrectly. because I thought I was still on the keypad.
See, I always look down at numbers, whether I'm on the keyboard or on my phone. I just am always looking down at it like you. Somebody said they never pay. They always have changed the screens out themselves, clean with both alcohol pads. They give you, and they say, I'm 76. Impressive.
Oh.
Wax your phone screen for the cleanest screen ever.
Wax it?
Yeah.
Wax.
Somebody else said they have the same affliction as me. My wife says it's called Virgo.
Oh, being a Virgo.
Capricorn
Okay.
here.
Oh, you're a Capricorn.
Yeah.
My problem with that little stuff like that, my fingers aren't nimble anymore. And it's just, I'm just, they're not fat, but they work like they're fat.
Mm-hmm.
And you just can't quite
Grab things that you need to
Yeah,
grab.
the little edges and things like that.
Yeah, and then our friend Susan says, we mentioned voting. Hope people are aware there's no excuse early voting at many locations, including
Right
the
now.
St. Louis County Library branches. We voted yesterday, and it was so easy. Yeah.
I'm going to see early voting in St. Charles County
Mm,
because
Okay.
that's where I'm at. And then, Bob, you are in Jefferson County?
Jeffco.
I'll look at early voting out in Jeffco.
Now, in
Um,
Jeffco, we like everybody to vote early because then we know who's winning and we know where to take those fake ballots. It helps it, it helps in moving that along.
Yeah.
Oh, don't spread that.
Yeah. Fake news once again. As we all get older, do you think about where you want to be? Do you want to retire here in Missouri, in St. Louis?
I can't retire, so it is moot. But if I could afford to retire, I'd like to retire in Colorado, but that's too expensive. So I would probably look seriously at Wyoming.
Well, it's really interesting because there's a new ranking out for the best states for growing older,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not Florida anymore.
Too crowded. Nobody goes there anymore.
Isn't that very interesting? Now, it is second to the list. A lot of people are moving to Hawaii, which sounds really
Whoa.
expensive.
Let me tell you a story. In Colorado, in Estes Park, beautiful place. I'd love to have a house there, even though it's a little touristy, but I'm a tourist. So,
Mhm.
but anyway, the owner of the lodge where we'd stayed for like 12 straight years, something like that, they finally, after like 100 years in the family, they finally sold. They got a big chunk of money. They were really torn because they loved it there. They loved the family legacy, blah, blah, blah. But they also loved getting that big lump of money. They moved. So being in the mountains their whole life, they moved to Hawaii. We just found out they were there like 18 months, 2 years.
They're moving back.
They're moving back.
Why?
Wife couldn't find a job, an accomplished credited teacher, and it was too expensive.
Yeah.
And they had several million in their pocket.
Yeah, that's
So I don't get that one.
mm-mm. We've talked about this a lot. I think we'll always have some form of house here in St. Louis. I mean, I just think that there's so much to do and you get to see all 4 seasons if that's what you want. But I would like to be able to snowbird and
Yeah.
have somewhere that's a little warmer in the winter months.
Now, I've never been to Hawaii.
I haven't either.
I've only been. Can I play the Josh French game?
You
Yeah.
sure can.
I've only been there about a dozen times. I'm still exploring some things. But go on. I'll try and answer any question you have.
But it seems so far removed. It seems almost, you only come back for emergencies, maybe even some deaths that you probably will miss because
You're so chill, you don't care.
well, you're so far away. And then
Josh,
you're in
it's
such
4 hours.
you're in
to
a
the
weird
coast.
you're in a weird time zone. It just
It's
seems so
not
removed.
weird.
It's
The
not
s-
that much further than flying to Seattle from here.
The sun will come up tomorrow. That's the morning.
I feel like there are plenty of places in the continental United States that you could move to where you could get all the benefits of Hawaii without the cost.
Well, where would you
No.
retire?
Captiva Island,
Oh,
if I had a choice.
Captiva. But you haven't given it any thought
If I got to choose.
at all.
Hawaii's better.
San Diego.
Take it
Mm.
away. If you take away the cost factor, Hawaii's better than both those places.
Well, but the cost factor is
Right.
real.
Well, that's what I just said with those friends of ours, those people we rented from all those years. Yeah, it's It's a problem.
Well,
it's really, but San Diego is really
I was
expensive.
going to say,
Oh, sure.
cost of living is rising just about everywhere. So that's a challenge one anywhere you want to go. I will say this, if money is a little tight right now, Window Depot of St. Louis has a couple of really great promotions. I know you guys might be like me, and when it's one of those big projects like windows or appliances or HVAC systems, it's one of those things that you tend to put off because it's a big purchase, and I don't like adulting. I hate when you have to spend money on something like that. That's why this is such a great deal. Window Depot of St. Louis is offering 60% off installation with low payment options or up to 0 interest for 60 months, which is absolutely fantastic. And also, they always make customers happy. It's their motto. We create happy customers. Window Depot USA of St. Louis, they live by one simple principle that I wish more companies would live by. Do what's right. They treat customers like we'd want our mom to be treated. And isn't that, a really cool thought, a great way to do business? And Window Depot, they have the national strength because there's a bigger kind of umbrella of Window Depot of USA, but you've got the local service from Jason and Angie, who grew up right here in St. Peters, where they learned the value of helping others through their parents. So you can call Window Depot at 636-939-4800. That's 636-939-4800, or find them online at windowdepotstl.com.
How do you separate estate planning from elder law? You don't, because they're so intertwined. Let's face it, we're all getting older, and you need to make these decisions today, whether it's for your parents, for yourself, or for future generations. Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, Caroline Stolzer, and now it's Matthew Furr have been navigating these important decisions for more than 50 years. Beck, Lennox, Stolzer, estate planning, and elder law. Call them. 636-946-7899 or beckelderlaw.com. You can thank me later.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
You know, that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. One great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all of your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer. Medicare can feel like learning a whole new language. Supplement plans, Medicare Advantage, Part D prescription coverage. How do you know if your doctors are even in the network? That's where Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man, comes in. Ryan is like having your own Medicare consultant, guiding you through every option at no cost to you. By law, the insurance companies pay his fee, not you. For the right plan, call the Medicare Man, 314-368-6808, or visit MedicareManSTL.com.
One thing, I try to do is not think about all the money I have to spend. But sometimes it goes through your head and you think, I got to buy this, I got to spend money on that. But the money that you spent on your house is probably the biggest single purchase you've ever made. So it makes sense to protect it. And you know what? There might be things going on up top there on the roof that you can't see. Allen Roofing can. They don't even have to go up there. They could send some drones up to have a look, find out the problem, give a diagnosis, sit down with you and say, what shall we do from here to protect that asset of yours that you spent all that money on? It only makes sense, whether it's a roof, whether it's siding, tuck pointing, anything to do with the outside of your house. They will help you protect it. Find them online at aroofing.net.
Are you looking for a deck? I am. And you know who I turn to? Outdoor Living and Pat Leahy. They've been a sponsor for a long time, and they've done some other projects for me, but this one's the big one. It's going to have metal framing, composite decking, and when it's all said and done, he's going to put a 50-year warranty on it. Not because I'm his spokesperson for all these years, but because I am a customer. Outdoor Living takes care of St. Louis. So if you're looking for a deck that will survive the heat and the winter and the sun and everything else, Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
The Big 550 KTRS is proud to be celebrating 30 years of being the talk of St. Louis and looking forward to another 30 years. But we want to hear from you and get your thoughts on what you like and don't like and what we can do better. Go to KTRS.com or to the KTRS app and take our 30th anniversary listener survey. We thank you in advance, and once you take the survey, you'll be registered for a chance to win one of 5 $200 Visa gift cards from the Big 550, the talk of St. Louis. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is 3:32 on this Wednesday afternoon. Captain Paul, how's traffic moving?
Heidi, we just had one crash pop up. It's an accident on 64 West at Maryville Center, causing a bumper-to-bumper jam back to Mason. 64 West is crowded between Prospect and I-70. 64 East congested between Illinois 157 and 159. And 5570 East is a little slow from 64 to Illinois 111. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st for a free showing of The Sandlot. They'll have face painting, concessions, a stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you. No pills gonna cure my ill. I got a bad case of loving you.
The FDA is considering making peptides more available, but what are they and what exactly do they do? Dr. Ravi Johar, Chief Medical Officer with United Healthcare of Missouri and Illinois, is back to discuss, and it's always great to have you join us. Do we have him?
Wait. Here we go.
Oh, wait.
there you
Now
go.
we
That was the
can.
doctor.
That was my fault.
Welcome back.
Thanks. It's so great to be with you. It's always fun.
Yeah, it is always fun, and there's always something to learn. And let's start with just the basics. What are peptides?
So peptides, you may or may not be familiar with the term peptides, but everybody has come in contact with peptides. They're basically short chains of amino acids. It's the same building blocks that we used to when we talked about proteins the other day.
Mm-hmm.
These are the same things. These are just smaller proteins, basically. Peptides are usually about 2 to 50 amino acids. So some examples of peptides, and peptides, the ones that we're talking about today are ones that are pharmaceutically made, but they mimic peptides that are made in the body. Some of those, for example, are insulin. That's a peptide. Glucagon, which releases blood sugar when it gets too low. That's a peptide. Oxytocin, which anyone who's had a baby will understand is the Pitocin that's used to help labor, to help after the delivery. That's a peptide. And like growth hormones are peptides.
Well, I was going to say, I use a serum that has peptides in it. It's a mixture of different peptides and proteins on my eyebrows and my eyelashes that helps with growth. What else can peptides do?
Well, in wellness circles, and that's where you'll hear about peptides a lot. They've been used to promote weight loss, build muscle, help recovery from injuries, enhance skin appearance, increase growth hormone levels, and support sexual health.
Wow.
So there's some ones that are out there. Semaglutide is a peptide. So Ozempic, Wegovy. the Monjuro and Zepoy, the trizepatides, those are peptides. Calcitonin for bone disorders is a peptide. Now, all of those ones, though, that we're talking about have been FDA approved. They've gone through studies on humans and have been FDA approved for use in humans. The FDA, what was an advisory committee of the FDA, had a hearing a couple of days ago, and they took testimony on taking some compounded peptides and whether to recommend that those not be approved as FDA-approved medications, but rather that 6 of them be considered for addition to the bulk list.
And what is the definition of a compound? How is that different than just a peptide?
Basically, when we're talking about compounds, I mean, all peptides are compounded, all synthetic peptides. But when they're talking about compounding ones, they're talking about compounding pharmacies that are just compounding and creating the medications and then marketing and selling them or distributing them to people to use. But compounded medications do not have to go through FDA approval or testing. And that's the concern right now that some of the people expressed at the meetings the FDA had, is that those peptides that they're approving for bulk distribution have not been tested for safety in humans. The basic thing that the FDA advisory committee was saying is that these peptides, the ones that they were looking at, are already being marketed and used on what they call the gray market. Basically, you can buy them off the internet and say, hey, I want to use this one for wound healing or ulcerative colitis. And since we have no idea where those medications are being compounded or where they're coming from, the FDA advisory panel said we'd rather make sure that those are being compounded in the U.S. on labs that we think are following good safety regulations. And then it's up to people to decide if they want to use those or not, because they're not going to do any testing on them to show that they're safe or efficacious.
So a peptide is just a generic term.
Correct. It's a very, very broad term. It refers to all kinds of compounds that can be used for any kind of use. Majority of peptides are injectable, but some peptides can also be nasal sprays or topical creams, or even some of the newer ones actually have some oral formulations.
Aside from the GLP-1s that we're pretty familiar with at this point, is there a peptide that you could mention and I know what that is?
Well, I mean, the synthetic ones basically have all kinds of things. I mean, they go by real complicated names like BPC 157.
Oh, yeah.
Or MOT-SC. None of them have brand names.
Yeah.
So there's not a name that you would get out there because that's what they're being compounded. They can't really use any of the brand names that are advertised.
So are we talking there are hundreds of peptides out there?
There could be, absolutely.
And then are there any risk to using peptides?
Well, there are risks. I mean, for example, there's a medication that's used for blood disorders. And that peptide actually basically started forming clumps inside the body, and the body attacked those because they're proteins. The body thinks of these as something that's a foreign body now. When they come together, they became big enough, the body recognized it, and you start having autoimmune diseases from it because those trying to destroy those erythropoietin-making cells. So they're being made for people that had a blood disorder, needed to make more blood, but now they were having an immune disorder that was destroying their own blood. Well, so there's risks with any medication you take.
Let me get you to reiterate something you touched on a moment ago, and I think I speak for all lay people here in that, it sounds great. It's for this problem or that problem or, hair growth or whatever, all the different things you can do. Well, I'm going to go get me a couple of bottles of those. I'm going to start swallowing it whole. So that's the real problem when something is out there like this. People are going to try and circumvent procedures to get to it. What can we do to help prevent that?
Well, I think the thing to me that's always important is to get those medications. If you're taking a medication, get it from a physician who knows what medication is, what it's being used for, and can help counsel you on the best way to use that. Or if you're getting it from a pharmacy, the pharmacist can certainly help give you that same kind of information. I think it's a personal decision on whether you want to use compounded medications, which many medications are compounded and are perfectly safe and acceptable to use. But I'd want to use myself. I would want to use one that's gone through testing on humans to make sure that it's safe and that's being used for a specific indicated purpose that we know. Problem with these compounded medications, once they're made, there's no criteria on where it can or can't be used. You could be taking a medication for that may have been, felt to be beneficial for weight loss, and discover it's helping with something else and want to use that without any data.
So I know a guy in the parking garage that's selling them out of his trunk. You're saying don't do that.
That's why the FDA advisory committee came up with this, saying, hey, instead of getting that one, at least we'll have an idea of where these ones are coming from.
Yeah. Dr. Johar, we have a question on the text line. What about the collagen with peptides powder supplements? Do you know anything about those?
It's the same category of medications. The powders are just another way. That's the topical cream type things and the powder ones that are going on. So it's the same sort of thing. What testing has been done on them? Problem with all the compounded ones is some have been tested, many have not.
Okay, so I mentioned that serum that I've been using, and I got to admit, I had no idea that there were even peptides in it until I saw somebody else talking about it. Do we just need to read labels? Are we taking things that we didn't even realize have peptides?
I think that's very likely. I know that was an eye-opener for me to see about some of the things that have peptides in them. And also, the other thing that's concerning to me is that when they say peptides on them, since they're not FDA or FTC regulated at all, what do they mean when they say they have peptides in them? Is it just a very minute amount, but they can just advertise it as having peptides? Or is it a real large amount that's having some kind of effect on the body?
And Dr. Johar, is this just a marketing thing at this point? The longer we talk about this, it's got peptides in it. Sounds great. But what was that stuff that's in tomato? Oh, everything has antioxidants in it now. And then for a while it was, it's gluten-free.
Or protein.
Protein is the big one now. Is this just the latest buzzword?
Right. And actually anything with protein could say they contain peptides, since peptides are smaller proteins. So they could use those words interchangeably. So a lot of it is marketing. A lot of it is getting people to try something. That's not to say that those ones won't work very, very well for you. They may. All I can say is we don't have any studies to say that they do or what the risks are with those.
Yeah. Well, it is very interesting to say the least. And I guess we'll see what the FDA does as they consider making peptides more available. Dr. Johar, it's always great to pick your brain. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Take care.
All right. I want to mention this. 84126. Heidi said, where would you retire if you could retire? Money was no option. Did you see somebody won the Mega Millions?
No. Where?
Yes, I don't know, but I'm driving in and the big billboard
has switched down to zero.
Again, I'm a Powerball guy. So I look up and it's 660 on the Powerball and it's 50 million on the Mega Millions. So somebody somewhere won it last night. But I'm with Bob. Whenever I talk to my retirement person, Jeff Zufall, I always say, when I retire at 65, and he always looks at me and does the thumb with the, go up.
Not going to be that soon.
68, higher 70, higher 75.
It's like the price is right. Yeah.
75,
without
Jeff?
going
And
over.
he's like, maybe.
Ooh.
I hope he's joking, but he's seen my
portfolio.
He's seen my financials. I didn't get started until I was in my 30s. So it's very important if you want to retire to Captiva Island or Hawaii or Wyoming or wherever.
San Diego,
and have a home to maintain still here in St. Louis. You need to be on the right path, and Jeff can help you do that. 636-394-5524. Yes, it's about retirement, but it's also about keeping more of your taxes. The more money that you get to keep in your pocket could go into your retirement account. 636-394-5524. And just think of it this way. You're saving, $3,000 a year on taxes, then you could put $3,000 a year extra into your retirement.
So smart.
636-394-5524. What were you guys pointing at?
I was going to say that a couple people said that the Mega Million was a single winner in Florida.
Oh, well, Jeff probably practices in Florida. Maybe he can help them out because it won't be helping me. Capital Advisory, grp.com is the website. Jeff Zufall.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. We didn't get the nickname the St. Louis Corvette Kings by accident. We have specialized in Corvettes for over 30 years, and I need more. You have one for sale, especially C6, C7, and classic Corvettes. I'm an immediate buyer for very clean, low-mile examples. Hop on our site, mastercarsinc.com, or give us a call to submit what you have. We'll even come to you if we have to. Owe money on it? Don't worry. We'll make the payoff and pay your equity right on the spot. This has been a fantastic Corvette summer, and I want to keep it rolling.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit mastercarsinc.com to get more details. That's mastercarsinc.com.
Your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flexsteel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for our friends at Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution, and they've been in St. Louis for over 20 years with 2 locations, one at Clayton and Lindbergh, and the other one just west of 270 on Olive. If you've got your own business and you want to have a better banking experience, look no further than Triad Bank. Their mission is to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services to you and your business. For more, go to triadbanking.com.
Okay, you've decided you want to get away. You want to travel. You want to see the world. Let Altair Travel and Cruises handle all the details. You handle all the fun. You don't know where to stay. You don't have to worry about transfers. What about your luggage? What about a tour guide? You don't want a tour guide. Lewis and Clark had a tour guide. You're in a different country. You want to go see the Sistine Chapel. You're going to need a tour guide. Let Altair Travel handle all those details. You handle all the fun. 314-968-9600. Altair Travel or altairtravel.com.
For 6 generations, the name Edwards has stood for unwavering trust in wealth management. At Benjamin F. Edwards, we're fiercely independent and focused on one thing: empowering advisors to put clients first, always. We offer personalized advice, guided by your needs, not ours. We are a relationship business. Discover the difference a truly client-first firm can make. Your wealth journey deserves a true partner. Visit BenjaminFEdwards.com. That's BenjaminFEdwards.com. Member SIPC.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Looking for your next favorite place? Head to Big Chief's Roadhouse on historic Route 66 in Wildwood. Relax on the beautiful patio, discover the hidden speakeasy, and enjoy fresh garden-to-table flavors straight from Big Chief's own gardens. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends, there's something for everyone. Visit BigChiefSTL.com, call 636-458-3200, or stop by today and experience one of Route 66 true dining destinations at Big Chief Roadhouse on Route 66.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's about 11 minutes before 4 o'clock. Captain Paul, still seeing a couple issues?
Heidi, we are still following an accident on 64 West at Maryville Center. It's causing a bumper-to-bumper jam back to Ballot, and the estimated clearance time is 4:25. 64 West is also busy from Hampton to Clayton Skinker. We have a crash on 270 East at Washington Elizabeth. 64 West is crowded between Prospect and I-70. 64 East congested between Illinois 157 and 159. And 5570 east is slow from 64 to Illinois 111. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot. They'll have face painting, concessions, a stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Here at the Big 550 KTRS, we are proud to be celebrating 30 years of being the talk of St. Louis, and we're looking forward to another 30. But we want to hear from you. We need to know what you want, what you don't want. What do you like? What do you not like? What can we do better? You can go to KTRS.com or to the KTRS app to take our 30th anniversary listener survey. We thank you in advance, and once you take that survey, you're registered for a chance to win one of 5 $200 Visa gift cards from all of us here at the Big 550 KTRS. Somebody is asking Rammer, they just got back from, they left Estes Park, and they're wondering, where in Wyoming do you recommend?
Well, I think it depends on what you're looking for in your lifestyle. Laramie is a really cool college town.
Yeah.
But I would tell you it's probably too small for some people. It's perfect for Jen and me. We really love it. And the snowy peaks are within a 20-minute drive. And it's beautiful. If you've got a lot of money, Northwest Wyoming and the Grand Tetons and Jackson Hole. But that's for the rich folks. But it is beautiful. And then there's, Northeast Wyoming, close to the Black Hills,
yes,
where you were, is gorgeous. So there's a little bit of everything.
But there's a lot of land in between when you get from one place to the other.
I was going to say, there is a lot of desolation in Wyoming. So there's probably more places to choose from in Colorado, but the great spots in Wyoming are really great.
Josh, we're good? Yep. Okay, Josh is doing a couple of things over there. Nearly.
Hey, blame Alex Stone.
He's juggling too.
We can't do that to our
Don't
guests.
blame Alex Stone.
No,
Don't blame me.
it's never Alex's
I want to move
fault.
to Wyoming.
Yeah.
I've been sitting listening to you guys. I'm like, I want to go to Wyoming.
Well, it's going to be tough to get to a couple places because storms and an airline computer caused some issues. Alex Stone is joining us, by the way.
Yeah, so been really rough for travelers in the last 24 hours or so. And if you know anybody, especially the East Coast, Mid-Atlantic, that area, that they probably had a tough time if they were flying in and out. But these strong storms that were moving across the country, spawning tornadoes and had intense rain. And so that's been JFK, Newark, Philadelphia really getting slammed. Chicago yesterday morning and on Monday, even Denver yesterday dealing with it. But yesterday, 2,600 flights were canceled in the U.S. Today, it's right around 500. So it's way down, but airlines are trying to get back on track, and it's still not great. This passenger stuck sleeping at LaGuardia overnight saying, yeah, you don't want to do that.
It's really hard. You have to stay in the airport overnight.
Yeah, it's really hard because you're stuck at LaGuardia Airport, and today airlines are trying to get the planes and the crews in cities where they should be. LaGuardia, Boston, Logan, JFK, the most canceled flights of anywhere in the world again today. But that wasn't the only problem. Last night, American Airlines had an IT outage and tech troubles on top of all the weather with their systems, and they had to ground all of their flights that weren't already in the air. This was the audio from air traffic control talking to one of the aircraft saying, hey, something's not right.
We might have bigger problems. I think that American Airlines' entire fleet might be ground stopped for an IT problem nationwide.
And that turned into huge delays and canceled flights. This guy was impacted.
That flight was supposed to leave at 5:30. And then to find out that my transfer flight was being delayed as well. And then it delayed again, and then another time. And then finally, when they said that we were going to be leaving around 9 o'clock, that's when the flight was completely canceled.
That's the worst when they say it's delayed. It's just wait, it's only delayed, and then they cancel it. And so we had to deal with that. One other thing, we're now learning about a close call on Monday night in Atlanta when a Delta flight taking off crossed into the path of another Delta plane that was already doing a go-around because a third plane had not cleared the runway in time.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So those pilots saying...
Somebody on the runway?
He's exiting now.
Delta 1568 going around.
Yeah, going around, not going to deal with it. And then a plane got in their way, separate from the plane that was still on the runway. So there were 3 planes involved in this. The onboard collision avoidance system alerted. They had to change course. It's unclear how close they got, but when the TCAS goes off, the collision avoidance, it's pretty serious in that moment. And the plane doing the go-around had 156 people on board. They had already, by the way, diverted. They were lit from Pittsburgh. They diverted to Chattanooga because of weather in Atlanta. They went to Chattanooga, waited there, took off from Chattanooga, went to Atlanta, and then had this happen and have to go around in a close call. So that was a rough flight, but everybody is safe now, and it's been weather-wise a difficult few days.
And Alex, we haven't chatted with you in a while on where you've been.
Yeah, you guys never call.
Yeah.
Never write.
Never write. I wait for text messages from you, and you never send them.
I have been following you on Facebook. Looks like you
Yeah.
went on a fun
Oh,
camping
good.
trip.
Yeah, you've been on vacation. But
I mean, I guess so. It doesn't feel that way, but yeah.
global commercial aviation set a record on July 23rd. What was that last Wednesday or something? 153,000 commercial flights in a single day, a record.
Wow.
So is that causing some of this? Just more people all the time?
Well, sure, and there's more planes in the air every day, and so that plays a role. But also weather is going to be bad. If you've got weather like what we saw in the last 24 hours, no matter how many planes you have in the sky, things are going to be delayed and canceled. So the numbers, do come into play, but the weather in general is going to create the situation. But those numbers are pretty incredible, and it is that. You look at how quickly Airbus now and Embraer and other airplane makers can deliver airplanes. That it is quick. Airlines like Frontier and previously Spirit and whatnot, they can order a bunch of the exact same airplane and fly the one fleet. And so these airlines are just, if they've got the money to do it, they can just keep ordering planes and creating those routes and getting approval for them. And it's pretty incredible when you think of how many planes are now in the sky every day. How it has become accessible for everybody to fly, which is a great thing. There used to be that special experience. I don't think we feel all that special on board any longer when you get on board an aircraft, but it's something that everybody can do in today's world, which is great that we all have that access.
Alex, some of the terminology is funny. When you were talking about those 3 planes that were playing dodgeball, I reminded a comedian, it might have been Seinfeld, I'm not sure. Somebody will know. But they said near miss. What's that? That doesn't sound bad. They should be calling it a near hit.
Yeah, no, it's true. And to that point, I was just thinking of the weather, but to that, sure, the airports with all of the planes, they are overrun now. So to that point, Josh, yes, that has to do with all the planes coming in and out. And a lot of the airports have been dealing with that pressure of airlines want to, with the increased demand, get more and more flights in and out. And there are airports now that are trying to work with some of the big carriers to limit their flights, to declog the system a little bit. But whether it be St. Louis or Atlanta or LAX, that it's just all those airlines want to get in as many planes as they can get in now because that they have access to all those aircraft and they're getting those flight routes approved.
And in your experience, how many runs could one plane do in a day?
Well, I mean, it depends. You look at what Southwest can do with theirs, and I don't know. I'm sure there's an average that's out there, but you think of you probably 7 or 8 segments a day.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But that plane is, you could have a plane that's doing 1 a day because they're going to China, and or they're doing cross country and they're doing like 2 a day. But some of those that are doing little hops, if you're going in my world, like Burbank to San Jose and back to Burbank and then up to Oakland and then back to Burbank, and each one of those flights is 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And they just go back and forth all day long.
Yeah, very interesting. Well, Alex, we're glad you're back. And even though it doesn't feel like you could.
I've been working, by the way. The vacations were only the weekend, but I've been around.
All right. Well, glad to have you joining us. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our headlines, and Lauren Risley will join us to talk real estate.
Hi, I'm Robert Williams, owner of Auto Art on the Hill. If you own a classic car, Auto Art is your one-stop shop for repair, restoration, and maintenance. For over 35 years, we've helped car enthusiasts and collectors keep their vehicles looking great and running their best so they can drive them. We're also proud to be the home of the award-winning Throttle Squad Car Club. Classic cars are meant to be driven, and like any vehicles, they require regular maintenance. Our experts will help keep you and your classic on the road. Fall in love with your car again. Visit Auto Art at 5305 Northrop Avenue on the Hill, online at autoartstl.com.
Your retirement isn't just numbers on a statement. It's your family, your time, and your future. Listen to the Financial Safari with Greg Belger, Sundays at 5 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. and Iran breaking the brief pause with renewed strikes. Iran targeting U.S. sites in Jordan overnight and launching drone strikes against a U.S. natural gas facility in Egypt. At the White House, President Trump vowing a response.
We're going to hit him very hard. I mean, I can actually say that because in that, there's very little they can do about it. It was a different group than we're dealing with. They've already apologized, but you know, we got to smack them a little bit.
The war with Iran creating more uncertainty for oil and gas prices. The Federal Reserve Board voting 9-3 to leave interest rates unchanged for now. Fed Chair Kevin Warsh says the U.S. economy is showing some resilience.
The policy statement conveys just the facts. It's steering clear of forecasting, a choice we consider especially prudent at these uncertain times. Uncertainty, however, does not mean a lack of clarity.
On Capitol Hill, Anthony Fauci appearing before a Senate hearing on the COVID response chaired by Republican Rand Paul, the former medical advisor to President Trump during his first term, and also headed the White House coronavirus task force for the Trump and Biden administrations. ABC's Jay O'Brien says Dr. Fauci received a preemptive pardon from Biden and declined to answer questions.
President Biden's preemptive pardon, in the words of the chairman of this panel, Rand Paul, who would be the one making any kind of criminal referral to the Justice Department, doesn't cover future actions. It only is retroactive from the date the pardon was issued. And Fauci seemed to acknowledge that as well. So what Fauci was saying in his opening statement there is he believes that Chairman Paul is bent on putting him, in Fauci's words, behind bars.
A federal jury has found Heidi Matar guilty on all charges in the 2022 stabbing attack of author Salman Rushdie. Rushdie was slashed multiple times and lost sight in his right eye during an outdoor speaking engagement. Matar is already serving a 25-year sentence for a state conviction. You're listening to ABC News.
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
It's been a tough Saturday on the lake. I ordered swim trunks in this orange cream color, but it's actually more orange auburn. Oh, and it's swimwear. I probably can't even return these.
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please visit cantorinjurylaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Good afternoon. It's 4:03 and 87 degrees at Westport Plaza. I'm Brendan Weesey, and here's the latest from the KTRS newsroom. St. Louis Metropolitan Police officers, along with ATF agents, were ambushed last night by armed suspects in North City. The officers were fired upon in the area of Thekla Avenue and Riverview Boulevard during a traffic stop. Police spokesperson Mitch McCoy explains that the officers narrowly escaped harm.
It's my understanding that there was no ballistic damage to the patrol cars. I can tell you that it just based off of the briefing I got and talking with a few of the officers last night that were in that situation, it was a very close call.
Officers pursued the suspects on foot, but they ultimately did escape. Metro Police is asking the public for assistance if they saw anything suspicious in the area of the ambush to contact District 6 detectives at 314-444-0001. Illinois is set to launch a school cell phone ban. Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a law that requires school districts to develop and implement a bell-to-bell policy restricting access to cell phones between the first arrival to the final dismissal bell. Officials believe the measure will encourage students to connect more with curriculum and each other and allow educators to focus on teaching. On September 1st, the State Board of Education will share a template policy for school districts to bring to community discussion. Illinois schools will implement finalized cell phone policies for the start of the 27-28 academic year. Several hospitals in the bi-state are being cited for charging prices above Medicare rates. KTRS's Vicki Pimentel has the story.
A hospital watchdog group says 7 healthcare facilities in Missouri and Illinois have been warned by the federal government for failing to comply with hospital price transparency requirements. HospitalWatch.com says the 7 facilities are among more than 500 across the country, which continue to use vague, incomplete, and difficult to access pricing information that prevents patients, families, and employers from understanding the true cost of care before the bill arrives. Officials with Hospital Watch say patients shouldn't have to guess what a hospital visit is going to cost. The watchdog group says corporate hospital systems routinely charge patients and private insurers about 3 times what Medicare pays for the same services. They are calling for real enforcement of hospital price transparency and stronger scrutiny of hospital consolidations. The hospitals cited include Anderson Hospital, Gateway Regional Medical Center, Jersey Community Hospital, Iron County Medical Center, Pike County Memorial Hospital, Rankin Jordan Pediatric Rehabilitation Center, and SSM St. Joseph Hospital in Wentzville. Vicki Pimentel, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 2 local establishments have been named among the best spots to seek out grilling supplies in America. According to a new survey done by Market Beat, St. Louis is well represented in their list of top 100 independent barbecue stores in the country. Smoke Ring Barbecue Supply in St. Peter's ranks number 28 nationally, while St. Louis Barbecue Store comes in at number 75. A check of the markets now, presented by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturdays from 9 until 11 here on the Big 550. At the close, everything down big. The Dow down 1,153 points at 51,594. S&P 500 down 112 to 73.16. The NASDAQ down 433 at 24,442. Let's now head on over to the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk. That's where we find the good captain himself, Paul Kopsky. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Brendan. The slumping Cardinals, who have slipped under 500 for the first time this season, play Game 3 of a 4-game series against the Cubs tonight at Busch. The Redbirds have been outscored 17-5 in the first 2 games and have lost 5 of their last 6. And former Mizzou defensive tackle Sterling Webb has filed a lawsuit against the NCAA in St. Louis County Circuit Court. Webb is looking for a temporary injunction that would give him another year of collegiate eligibility, possibly on the Tigers. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. No accidents, but 6455 West is slow between the King Bridge and Poplar Street Bridge. 64 West is crowded from Hampton to McCausland and between Prospect and I-70. And 64 East is jammed between Illinois 157 and 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. Dents Express, STL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, Paul, thank you. That weather forecast, very nice tonight. After a very nice day, temperatures dropping to around 69 degrees this evening under clear skies. We'll have increasing clouds, though, tomorrow, a high of around 89 degrees. Rain returning to the forecast by Friday. At 4:09, We have sunny skies and 87 degrees at Westport Plaza. For the Talk of St. Louis, I'm Brendan Weesey on the Big 550 KTRS.
With summer already upon us, it's time to think about heat and cooling. If you haven't already, take a look at Indoor Comfort Team Heating and Air Conditioning. Not only are they a local St. Louis company, owned and operated by our neighbors, but they're offering some fantastic promotions right now. The first, get a free second opinion from Indoor Comfort Team. If you're not sure about what another HVAC company has told you, that's all right. Reach out to Indoor Comfort Team, and they'll come out to give a second opinion and some peace of mind. If it turns out you need a new system, they can help with that too. Get $2,000 off a new Train system with no interest financing. You can even get a discount on their VIP maintenance membership program at only $19.99 a month right now. That's 24/7 priority service and support, permanent discounts, tune-ups, and more. Check them out and see why St. Louis has trusted them since 1979. That's indoorcomfortteam.com or call 314-894-8200.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Wednesday afternoon, July 29th. Edison Brothers Building's historic mural restoration to begin next month.
Nice.
One of downtown St. Louis' most historic pieces of public art is set for a major restoration work in August. The Edison Brother Building's original Troblion mural, painted by artist Richard Haas in 1984, is set for a vibrant restoration as part of an $81 million renovation project, also known as the Apotheosis of St. Louis mural. It depicts aspects of the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair and features the image of King Louis IX. Restoration for the landmark mural is now scheduled to begin on August 10th. The Edison Brothers Building, which is located on South 14th Street near 64 and the Enterprise Center, has stood strong for several decades. It was formerly a warehouse for JCPenney and the Edison Brothers Shoe Company. Its last major upgrade was more than 20 years ago. In addition to the mural restoration, current renovation plans call for a 284 fully updated hotel rooms, expanded meeting and event space on the building's top floor, and a rooftop outdoor deck. The Edison Brothers Building is now expected to reopen in fall of 2027 as the Sheraton St. Louis downtown.
Oh.
I haven't been in it in years, but the last time I was in a couple of the condos, because it's not just a hotel. There are a couple floors of condos, and they're really cool.
Yeah. So they put that on there in 1984. I was living in Louisiana. And I remember I came back home for the 85 World Series. And I remember going down Highway 40. It was 40 at the time. Going down Highway 40 and seeing it. I go, what is that? Because if you don't know what it is, and you first see it, you think it's a real sculpture.
It looks really, the depth of it is really cool.
Is amazing. And I still remember driving downtown and seeing that. What the heck has happened?
Yeah.
And then I figured out what was going on.
I'm anxious to see it be redone.
What year was it originally put
84.
up there? 84. Okay. So, I mean, I guess when I was a kid, I was born in 81. And going to baseball games downtown, you probably pop in, go to either the white parking garage or the blue one,
right,
on either side of Old Busch Stadium. The first time I ever saw that mural was when Metrolink started running, and my dad said, let's ride the new Metrolink. We jumped on it at Hanley and rode it all the way downtown, and coming around that corner, you see the building right there, and you're like, what is that? Right by
Pretty cool.
Savis Center.
Yep.
And that when would that have been? 93, 94?
Somewhere in there,
Savis Center was when I was here, so it had to be 96, if not later than that.
Oh, it might have been Kiel. It would have been Kiel Center then when I rode
Kiel
past it.
Center.
Yeah. How about that?
You want me to do a story?
Please.
I was off a day. I'm messed up.
You don't mind.
Heidi, you're going to Iceland.
Yes.
You're
October 23rd.
You're not going to Greenland.
No.
I'm glad, because the boat captain makes a split-second decision after an iceberg collapsed, creating a tidal wave that went for their boat. So Magnus Nisebeck Anderson, yep, he's got 4 names, captured the moment. Folks can go look it up, but was a peaceful boat trip through Greenland's famed Elusiat ice fjord quickly turned into a breathtaking display. This photographer was aboard the boat in the fjord, I guess it is, when he began filming the icebergs. They look like big white cliffs, obviously, and a massive section of ice broke away.
Kind of like the Titanic?
Well, they didn't hit it, but the wave tried to hit them.
Ooh.
And they gave the captain credit. Quick thinking, a dramatic escape unfolded. He knew exactly what to do, sped up, took an angle away from the mini tsunami. There were no casualties and no other problems.
Thank goodness.
But had he been sideways and not reacted quickly, could have been
paid
swamped.
attention.
Could have been swamped. So look at the video, though. It's pretty incredible. And for those of you traveling with or thinking of traveling with Heidi, it was not Iceland.
Greenland.
And then I just looked it up. Metrolink started running on July 31st, 1993. So we're almost at the anniversary. 2 more days. Let's see here. Lambeau Field.
Yes.
The frozen tundra.
Frozen tundra.
There's a theme.
Where the Green Bay Packers play. And at the 2026 shareholders meeting, the CEO of the Green Bay Packers, Ed Policy, announced that at this time, they are not selling the naming rights to Lambeau Field. Now, what is the weird? Every team in the NFL is privately owned, except for the Green Bay Packers. They're publicly owned. And I don't know how, in an era where the NFL is as powerful as it is, that they still are able to exist as a kind of a public. People buy shares.
But why would the NFL not like it if they're running their franchise properly and making money, and even if they're losing, would the NFL care? Just give us a product. Now, if the product on the field was somehow
less than
technically substandard, yeah maybe.
So the CEO says that now that the privately owned clubs, which is all of them except the Packers, can sell, I think, up to 15% of their teams off to private equity. Well, the Packers can't do that because they're a publicly traded, company or whatever. And they said, we can't name our field because, the shareholders they want Lambeau. They don't want GEHA at Lambeau Field or whatever they were doing.
And they had the right to vote for it because they're a shareholder.
So they said the only way we can catch up to the other teams is by hosting more events at Lambeau. Case in point, Wisconsin versus Notre Dame on Sunday, September 6th at 6:30 p.m. That'll be a game held at Lambeau Field, and they have other concerts and everything coming up. So the Packers and the Bears are the only teams in the NFL that don't have naming rights on their stadiums because Soldier Field,
you're not going to take that away.
Not owned by the Bears. I think it's a historical landmark.
Yeah.
So
the Bears, when they build a new stadium in Indiana, will.
This article says the Packers will literally be the cheese that stands alone.
Now, you know what they could do, and they've probably thought about it, being a little more clever. The Taco Bell sideline at Lambeau Field.
They sold the naming rights to the practice field, which is right next door. But, when do you ever bring that up? They say they could raise ticket prices or they could start selling PSLs. And with a waiting list that extends into next century, there is a demand for it. But they are saying, and they do this. They say they do this every year. But the Packers say we can't make as much as the other teams.
Well, so,
I don't think those fans care.
Yeah, and they could sign, and they could do some logo on the sidelines and just beyond the end zones. And
there's plenty of ways around it. Somebody said, listening from Wisconsin, go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go.
I love that. Thanks for listening from Wisconsin.
And did you see yesterday the Fighting Illini just announced they've got a jersey patch. UC Bank is going to be on all the jerseys for all the teams, football, basketball, women's, men's.
Didn't Notre Dame just release
Notre Dame has a sponsor now?
It's the next wave.
It's the next thing. And I thought this one, what was Illinois?
UC Bank.
But how much do they pay? $15 million?
Oh, I don't know.
And then I think Notre Dame came back, just right after that, and it's 20 million for whatever they're doing. But yeah, I mean, things have definitely changed. Now, they've changed when it comes to your HVAC system as well. And maybe it's a little more technical, but you still have to have somebody come in and check it for you, because HVAC systems, they're probably more complex than they've ever been. And that's why I turned to Indoor Comfort Team Heating and Air Conditioning. And I'm not the only one. They've been around since 1979. So they have amassed a great following, people that truly trust Indoor Comfort Team, because they've been doing it for so many years. And Indoor Comfort Team and Adam, who is behind the whole joint, they don't let them down. Now, not everything is going to go perfectly, but at Indoor Comfort Team, they always finish perfectly. This is a small, locally owned business, but I love that because they are small enough to actually care about the job they're doing, making sure that everything goes just right, but they are big enough to handle any and every job. You can reach Indoor Comfort Team at 314-894-8200. That's 314-894-8200, or check them out online at indoorcomfortteam.com.
Guys, I hate to be this person.
You usually are, though.
The purist. Is this new? Is this jersey patch thing new? Because when I see Busey Bank on the Illini jersey, it doesn't really bother me. But seeing a SoFi patch on the iconic Notre Dame jersey, this feels wrong.
Well, how are you going to pay for the quarterback if you don't do this?
I don't know, man, but this just
you better get on board.
Once you see it, you'll be like, this just doesn't feel right.
Are you looking for a deck? I am. And you know who I turn to? Outdoor Living and Pat Leahy. They've been a sponsor for a long time, and they've done some other projects for me, but this one's the big one. It's going to have metal framing, composite decking, and when it's all said and done, he's going to put a 50-year warranty on it. Not because I'm his spokesperson for all these years, but because I am a customer. Outdoor Living takes care of St. Louis. So if you're looking for a deck that will survive the heat and the winter and the sun and everything else, Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. Outdoor Living, or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
This July, we celebrate our nation's 250 years of independence and the anniversary of the One Big Beautiful Bill. As a small business owner, you understand the freedom and independence that comes from owning your own business. Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisor Group and the author of the 2 #1 best-selling books on taxes, Keep What's Yours and Keeping What's Yours. We're celebrating 50 years helping small businesses maintain their independence by minimizing their financial risk to their business, reducing their tax liability, and growing their wealth with strategic tax planning. If you're relying on investment advice from someone who isn't familiar with strategic tax planning and you feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, give us a call. 636-394-5524. That's 636-394-5524 or online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house in the middle of our house in the middle of our street.
Well, buying a house is fun, but it's also stressful, especially if you need to sell your current house. Thankfully, Lauren Risley, founder of Lauren Risley Realty, is here to help anyone and everyone navigate. Great to see you.
Good to see you guys too. A question, real question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone else's intro song that you guys also dance to?
Be
honest.
I dance to all of them, actually.
Okay, Josh.
Yeah,
I don't.
sorry.
Okay,
Just
thank
yours.
you. Thank you, Heidi.
I don't dance.
I saw your shoulders moving a tiny bit.
That's
It's a
involuntary
twitch.
tremors.
Okay, got it. But no, I'm happy to be here. When you said it can be fun or whatever, I was like, you didn't hear my phone call just then, did you?
I kind of did.
Okay.
But, just a
that's
little
when you
bit
said,
of
and
it.
it can also be stressful. Yeah.
I added that. Typically, I would assume, but correct me if I'm wrong, you want your current house to be sold before you purchase that other house. Right?
Is the question, do you want it to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think, do you want to have two mortgages? Probably no.
So, but it doesn't always align that way. If you find your dream home and you're still in your current home, you got to get rid of it.
Well, and that's just one scenario where it makes sense. So
here's my question.
Hit me
before we
with
get
it.
started.
Let's go.
We kind of already have started.
I was like, we have started. But
Okay, go ahead, Josh.
Yeah.
How to buy a house while selling an old. Don't most people have this problem? First-time home buyers, I get it.
Yep.
But aren't people selling one house to buy another?
Unless they're keeping it as an investment or something like that, which is not like, it's not common.
You could also move into an apartment while things are getting ready and store all of your stuff. I mean, there are a couple of options.
But that's not fun.
No.
And it's expensive.
And it's expensive.
Yep.
And so even in almost what we consider a perfect situation, there's going to be a gap, maybe only a day, which would be unbelievable. But
do you know what happens in that day?
What?
That's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like people go, oh, well, there's just, we'll just close on it and stay in it.
I
I'm like,
wait a minute, I just bought that house.
Yeah.
I had somebody tell me, do not let anyone in before you close.
Yes, there's two reasons. There's two contractual reasons why a buyer is allowed in a house after you go under contract. One is inspections, right? So in the contract, it says that the seller will allow the buyer access to the property. And I think the thing is like reasonable time. For those of you selling, our reasonable time is we have one inspector, pillar to post, and they schedule your radon, your sewer, your termite, your mold. They do everything within a 3-hour window.
From pillar to post?
From pillar to post. Yeah, they have everything scheduled because one,
that is amazing.
If we have the buyer and I just now scheduled radon for Monday at 10 a.m. and a 3-hour building inspection at 3 o'clock. And then the sewer guy can't make it till Thursday. Termite guy's going to pop by around dinner time. Like if that's our buyer, how much leverage do you think I have negotiating with that seller? The seller's like, no, you can't get nothing, right? So we want to make it as easy as we can on the seller so that it's easy, right? And that they're willing to negotiate if there's things to negotiate.
Such a great idea.
It's so funny because when I say that's in the contract, we've had it before where we have the seller and there's like 2 days of inspections and I call the agent almost like assuming that why wouldn't you do it at the same time? She's like, well, the contract says we're allowed and it does. I mean, it says within reason. Within my reason and hers are very different, obviously. But she's like, well, it's $25 cheaper to do radon through this company, and it's $30 cheaper to do it through here. I'm like, well, you're going to lose about $5,000 worth of negotiating power by doing this, But so during your inspections and then a final walkthrough. Final walkthrough is a funny thing. It's usually within 3 days of closing. Buyers always want to do it. And sometimes we feel surprised because a lot of times when we do a final walkthrough, it's when you've asked for repairs. So you want to go and confirm that the repairs have been done, or it's an occupied house. So you want to make sure that they didn't move the rug and there's a giant stain. And when they took the pictures down, they didn't, just rip them down with a giant claw hammer. And you want to make sure the house looks good. We get some pushback sometimes when our buyer wants a final walkthrough on a, renovated house with no repairs and, there was nothing to be negotiated. They're like, why do they want to go in again?
You saw it last month. Nothing has changed.
We didn't make any repairs and it was vacant when you saw it, right?
Yeah.
But you still get that opportunity to do it. So those are your two opportunities to walk through.
Have you ever seen that sort of odd final walkthrough, almost like they're looking for a reason to back out? Or is it too late for that anyway?
It's too late for that anyway. There's a final walkthrough notice. So like if let's say they pulled the rug up and there's a stain on the hardwoods, it does get a little bit hairy because, at that point they're like, they had no idea, like they've been in the house, it's like, great, but it's still there.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't there before. So
They
now
should have looked.
They should have looked. So now we're getting a hardwood floor company to give us a quick bid on how much it would be to sand that area and stain it. Or there's usually a credit given of some sort, or pushing closing back. So if it's a repair, it gets done.
Yeah. So what do you advise if somebody is needing to buy and sell a house at the same time?
Well, and this is actually, I didn't realize it's such a hot topic. We're on Fox 2 Tuesday mornings on the morning show. And we chatted about this yesterday. We probably got 10 calls.
Wow.
It's funny. The show's on from 9 to 12 and then, 9 to 10 and then 12 to 1. So those 10 calls came between 9:30 and 10:30 and 12:30 and 1:30, I guess, when they were seeing the replay.
Cool.
But it was a huge question because like Josh said, when are you not in a situation where you are buying and selling? So quickly, the way people want to do it and the way we absolutely suggest you don't do it is what's called a same day close, right? So you need to sell your house. Maybe you don't need to, you just want to.
That's the way we want to do it.
That's the way you want to do it. That's the way we advise not to.
Yeah.
Yep. Because there's so many things out of our control. So, Josh found the house that they're going to buy and they close on August 1st. I hope you're packed. That's a couple days away. They close on August 1st. He has someone that wrote on his house and they're closing August 1st, right? And he says, well, we want the money from the sale of our house, to go towards our down payment on the other house. It's like, okay, well, have you ever played dominoes? Like, have you ever knocked one over? That's the domino effect, right? So let's say the person who's buying your house, right? You need the proceeds from your sale to buy the next house. Let's say their lender didn't send, and this is just total real estate jargon, they didn't send the CD out. It has to go out 3 days for disclosure. They didn't send it out. So they're like, hey, sorry, we have to push closing back a day. Well, and you were going to close on Friday. Now we're closing Monday. So as a seller, you can't go, no, you have to close today because I'm closing on this other house. You can't. The only option is to let them out of the contract. And you're not doing that. And there's no legal repercussion for it. So now Josh has to go to the person whose house he's buying and say, hey, can we push back to Monday? And they go, well, no, because we're closing on Monday. And we have a moving truck and it's already loaded with all of our stuff or whatever. So it is such a stressful process that almost never works exactly the way you think it will. Okay, well, let's close on ours and then we'll buy one the next day. So then the option is, okay, are you paying for a moving truck? They charge per hour. Now you're asking the moving truck how much to charge overnight if they'll let you. So now you're packing up all your stuff onto a moving truck on Thursday, closing on your house.
I have a headache right now just thinking about
And then
this.
holding it in the moving truck until you close on your house on Friday. Truth be told, we don't do closings on Mondays or Fridays for this exact reason, because there's so many things that happen out of your control. Do you know how many times we've had a Friday closing and they have movers scheduled and friends and family coming to help and it can't be till Monday.
And you got the whole weekend.
Yeah. And they're like, I can't close on Monday. I took off work and this. It's like, I'm so sorry. Right. So then you're like, okay, then what do we do? Right. We just have no resolution. Right. So the resolution is there's a couple lenders out there. So I'm sure people have heard of what's called a bridge loan. It basically bridges the gap between buying. We don't recommend those. We like the idea of it, but a bridge loan is actually 2 closings. So
are you paying those closing costs twice?
You'll pay closing costs twice. You'll pay appraisal twice. So there's a couple lenders out there. Jason Hardy, he's on our show on Sundays. He has what's called a recast loan. And basically, if you are buying another house, he will allow you to put 5% down on the new house. Even if you wanted to put 10, 20 because of PMI, you put 5% down on the new house. You sell within a year. And then if you say, okay, well, I want to put a $50,000 down so I don't have PMI, he literally grabs the calculator and recasts the payment and then makes your payment, as if you put that money down. There's no second close, nothing.
Wow.
Like he basically self-finances it, because otherwise it's like, well, what do? Mortgage originators sell loans, right, to investors. That's who ends up servicing them. Jason just holds on to that loan until you've recasted your payment. So it's a huge, huge, huge opportunity.
Let me throw a scenario at you,
I
a
would love that.
25-year-old scenario.
Okay.
You were in junior high. And so
thank you.
6th grade,
I was
maybe?
Okay. Thank you.
Anyway, so we're building a new house.
Okay.
And we knew, while we loved our old house, it was odd and quirky. And so, not knowing any better, we said, this is going to be on the market for a long time. Let's put it up for sale and get it closer to when our house is going to be done. Well, a day and a half later, sold.
Yep.
So we were lucky because we had relatives in town. We moved in with my wife's grandma. It was actually a pretty cool time. Spent the summer there and moved in. But what would you recommend to somebody? Don't try and forecast the market like that.
Well, no. And even with the recast loan, the risk is that you still have 2 mortgages.
Yeah.
Right. So the way that the lender does it is he actually schedules your close so that you skip a payment. So you won't actually have a payment on your new house for 60 days. And the goal is to have the right team behind you, real estate agent, knowing exactly how many days on market. Because we've had scenarios where we look at comps, maybe it's a rural area, and we go, hey, days on market's like 75 days. I don't know if a recast is a great idea for you. I think that whole thing that we want to avoid doing, which is a same day close, is what we probably need to do. Because my fear is that you're going to buy a new house and it's going to take a lot longer than we think to sell your house. So I don't think a recast is a great idea. So there's obviously stats that you don't go, okay, yep, I'll do a recast. I mean, we want to make sure that we've evaluated your house, or maybe you're kind of crazy, right? And like you want to do a recast and your house is worth $400,000. You're like, no, we're going to list it at $525. I'm like, well, it's not worth that. Right. And well, we want to see if someone's going to pay for it. Well, you're going to have 2 mortgages for quite some time, know? So you want to make sure that strategy, even though you're buying first, you want to make sure the strategy to sell is completely solid and in place before you start shopping for a house, because that's what's going to keep it from being expensive and stressful.
Yeah. The main key is to make sure you have the right real estate team behind you. A lot of what we talk about here, Lauren and Adam, kind of go in more depth on Call the Closer with Lauren Risley Realty. It airs right here on the Big 550 KTRS Sundays at 1. You can catch Lauren on Fox 2 on Tuesday mornings. And if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, or if you just have a question, because knowledge is power. Call Lauren Risley Realty 314-775-0684. You can also email her at hello@laurenrisleyrealty.com.
In the middle of our house. In the middle of our
I mean, that is the best theme song. Let's be honest. Right? 437, Captain Paul. How's traffic?
I think we have one active crash, but it's not really that big a deal. It's an accident on 64 East before 270, causing a slowdown back to Mason. Estimated clearance time is 5:10. 270 South is heavy from 64 to Manchester. 64 West is crowded from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker and between Prospect and I-70. 64 East bogs down at 170. 6455 West is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge, and 64 East is jammed between Illinois 157 and 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot. They'll have face painting, concessions, a stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. We didn't get the nickname the St. Louis Corvette Kings by accident. We have specialized in Corvettes for over 30 years, and I need more. You have one for sale, especially C6, C7, and Classic Corvettes. I'm an immediate buyer for very clean, low-mile examples. Hop on our site, mastercarsinc.com, or give us a call to submit what you have. We'll even come to you if we have to. Owe money on it? Don't worry. We'll make the payoff and pay your equity right on the spot. This has been a fantastic Corvette summer, and I want to keep it rolling.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of Master Cars, Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Amioki Road in Granite City, or visit mastercarsinc.com to get more details. That's mastercarsinc.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Hi, this is Jason Hughes with TR Hughes Homes, and we are currently offering half off up to $33,000 on options and up to $3,300 in closing costs on brand new to-be-built homes at select TR Hughes communities. That's right, half off up to $33,000 in options and up to $3,300 in closing costs. Visit trhughes.com for details. That's trhughes.com.
The choice of a home builder is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
However, you really should visit trhughes.com.
Okay, you've decided you want to get away. You want to travel. You want to see the world. Let Altair Travel and Cruises handle all the details. You handle all the fun. You don't know where to stay. You don't have to worry about transfers. What about your luggage? What about a tour guide? You don't want a tour guide. Lewis and Clark had a tour guide. You're in a different country. You want to go see the Sistine Chapel. You're going to need a tour guide. Let Altair Travel handle all those details. You handle all the fun. 314-968-9600. Altair Travel or altairtravel.com.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Hi, it's Julie Buck to tell you about a trusted family business that I've been working with for years, Easter Fence and Deck. Chuck Easter and his family have been the go-to fence and deck company in the St. Louis area for more than 70 years. And when it comes to sunrooms, Easter Fence and Deck offers the top-of-the-line Better Living sunrooms that are absolutely spectacular. When it comes to fences, decks, and sunrooms, I would invite you to do what my family has done for years and trust the family-owned Easter Fence and Deck online at easterfence.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Well, Heidi and Bob, back in the day on this date, 1954, J.R.R. Tolkien produced The Fellowship of the Ring, the first volume of his Lord of the Rings trilogy.
What year is that?
54.
Man, why did it take so long to bring it to the big screen?
I think because it's so big of a story and so much special effects and on location. And I just remember, so I'm in high school in the early 70s and all my nerd friends read it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
There's a funny...
I was reading the sporting news.
There's a great joke on Friends where Ross and Chandler said, "You didn't read Lord of the Rings in high school?" And Joey goes, no. And, made an off-color joke about what he was actually doing in high school. Nerd stuff, 1958, NASA was created. 9 months after Russia launched their first Sputnik satellite.
Okay. 58.
58.
Okay.
1974, Mama Cass Elliott died of a heart attack.
Not a ham sandwich.
Not a ham sandwich.
When legend becomes fact, print the legend.
She died in the same apartment as Keith Moon.
Which is so crazy.
Weird.
Died several years later, the apartment owned by Harry Nilsson.
Yeah.
And they said that ham sandwich thing came about because there was a ham sandwich by the bed.
Yeah.
But there was no bite taken out of it. So how do you choke
If you haven't had a bite
if you
of it.
haven't had a bite yet?
Unless it's your second sandwich.
I mean, well, that was a joke I made actually the other day, Heidi. There was a second sandwich, Bob, on the grassy knoll. Can you imagine though being, the mamas and the papas, iconic 60s California sound, but you go down in history
As that.
dying after choking
and
on a
it's
ham
not
sandwich.
even true. I mean, same thing with Elvis, though.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I think he did die on the toilet, though. Did he not?
How old was Mama Cass? Did it say?
It does not say. But 1974, I think this was several years after
She's probably about 30.
Yeah, I was going to say mid 30s maybe, but I don't know.
1981, Prince Charles and Lady Diana were married.
How many people watched that wedding? That long
25
trail?
2,500 people in the audience, but 700 million viewers around the world.
Crazy.
Bob, where were you at on this one? 1981. Were you watching the royal wedding?
1981 in the summer. I was probably working in the warehouse.
You didn't tune in?
I think I missed that
The
one.
royal wedding, probably at 8 a.m. Central Time.
Yeah.
That wasn't what the wedding was when William and Kate got married. It was the middle, like 5 a.m.
Yeah, it was early.
Early,
Yeah.
because it was all the rage as well.
Charles and Diana, by the way, were divorced on August 28th, 1996. So they made it, 15 years?
Enough to have two princes.
Two princes.
Yeah. All right. Very interesting. Coming up, we're going to talk to Royal Oaks. Also interesting, Dr. Anthony Fauci was on Capitol Hill in a pretty contentious hearing. What is he being grilled about? We'll talk to Royal after this.
Looking for a great local restaurant recommendation?
Missy Mall.
Tune in to the Kuno Food Service weekly special during the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Hear from the best of the best restaurant owners in town. Only on the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Presented by Kuno Food Service, right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
My college roommate said to me recently, everyone needs a good electrician on speed dial. And you know what? He's right. Ever since Michael Baldy has started advertising on the show, you know what? He's been out to the house 4, 5, 6 different times to fix all sorts of things. Good thing I got Michael Baldy on speed dial because those things are a hazard. And it's one thing, you know how much I like to pretend to think that I'm a home improvement guy. I'll mess with plumbing and I'll mess with woodworking, but there's something I won't mess with, and that's electricity. It's too dangerous. It's too confusing, quite frankly. I know how to plug in a light bulb, but after that, it's baldyelectric.com. So for all of your electrical needs, residential, commercial, indoor, outdoor, TVs, computers, technology, baldyelectric.com. It's the place to go. You need a good electrician on speed dial. That's Michael Baldy. Or baldyelectric.com.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrade? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I want to buy your home. Any property, any condition, and always as is. I will pay top dollar with no contingencies and no inspections. You walk away with cash. So don't waste time and money making repairs and paying real estate commissions. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. Or go to robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Is it time to make a change with your bank? Hi, it's Julie Buck for Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution with 2 locations, and they've been around since 2005 with a mission to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services. Here's their website. It's triadbanking.com.
You've spent years building your retirement savings. How do you turn those savings into income that you can rely on? Hear more on the Financial Safari with local trusted advisor Greg Belger, Sundays at 5 p.m., right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Carney, Buck.
All right, Thursday on the broadcast, we're joined by another helper in our Christmas in July. The folks from AAA Home Services joins us.
We'll also talk sports with Brendan Weesey.
Speaking of sports, women in football, that rescheduled interview with the author of an interesting book on that topic.
We'll see you here at noon.
John Carney, Julie Buck, weekdays at noon on KTRS. The talk of St. Louis. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
9 minutes before 5 o'clock, Captain Paul, how's traffic moving?
Heidi, it looks like they've cleared an accident on 64 East before 270, and we are accident-free. 270 South is heavy from 64 to Manchester. 64 West crowded from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker, and it's stop and go between Prospect and I-70. 64 East bogs down from 170 to Big Bend. 64 55 West slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge, and 64 East is jammed between Illinois 157 and 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Dr. Fauci made a pretty contentious appearance before the Senate committee earlier today. Actually, I think invoked the fifth 100 plus times. Royal Oaks, ABC News legal analyst, joins us with the latest. He invoked the fifth 100 plus times. What is he not answering here?
He's not answering anything at all about anything having to do with his work regarding COVID. His position is Senator Rand Paul, who's running the show, chair of this committee in the Senate, is obsessed with putting Fauci behind bars, and Fauci doesn't want to help him. You know, the weird part is Fauci got a pardon from President Joe Biden on the way out the door, and therefore, theoretically, he's got a get-out-of-jail-free card with respect to his work on COVID. I think the reason he's taking the fifth, even though he knows it looks kind of bad, is that if Senator Paul wants to get him for perjury about something he says today, well, he could try to do that in spite of the pardon. So that's the dynamic going on.
Yeah, and Royal, it's kind of a thing the FBI will do. They'll put you in a little bit of a trick bag and try and catch you changing your story, maybe mixing up dates or unintentionally trying to mislead, and Fauci didn't want to be caught in that trap.
Well, that's true. And of course, perjury, as we know, requires an intentional misstatement. But, the real problem here for Fauci is that after they've now revealed about 1,100 pages of his diary notes taken during the COVID situation, you can question him for a long time about differences between his public statements over the last several years and what he said in the diaries. And so, that could be a fertile field for Senator Paul and others on the Senate committee to try to establish inconsistencies and, maybe look into perjury possibilities.
And Royal, why were his diaries able to be kind of submitted in this situation?
It's a great question. You hear diary and you think of a 13-year-old girl with a pink diary with a lock under a mattress. But what happened apparently is that RFK Jr., running Health and Human Services, for about 8 months, he had people examine 11 government servers, and that's where they came up with over 1,000 pages of the diary. So apparently what happened is that Fauci didn't take steps to make it private. He just was typing away on his government computer. That's how the material was released to the Senate committee.
Is there anything incriminating in the diary?
Oh.
Everybody's going through it as fast as they can. I guess the answer is that you have some inconsistencies. For example, in the diary, Fauci is saying, it sure looks like the COVID escaped from a Chinese lab in Wuhan. Whereas in public, he was saying, we don't know that. It's all an open question. And, a lot of people were sensitive. They didn't want to look like they were racist or anti-Chinese. So that's one of the things the Republicans on the committee no doubt will seize upon in terms of inconsistencies. And, what about, did you know, Dr. Fauci, the National Institutes of Health were funding gain of function research in this lab, meaning possibly looking into how to weaponize a COVID virus? All of these are provocative areas where he could have some vulnerability, and he'd just as soon not testify. Next week, of course, there may be a vote by the Senate committee and the full Senate to hold him in contempt of Congress. If that happens, then the U.S. Attorney's Office will have to decide whether to try to indict Fauci. If he's found guilty of that, he could wind up behind bars for up to a year.
Obviously, I haven't read through the diary. I've only seen some clips, Royal. But to me, it seems like the one thing, if there was something inconsistent in pushing the vaccine, the Moderna and the Pfizer versus the ivermectin and hydrochloroquine that did work but was sort of tamped down, if they could find something like that, that seems like that would be something indictable. But I don't know what's in there on that.
Yeah, we really don't know, but you're right. That's a provocative area. In addition, just the whole idea of whether it was reasonable to basically shut down the country, countless kids stay away from school for months and months. A lot of people are still steamed about that. Other people defend it and say we saved a lot of lives. Those are likely to be question areas. There may be a negotiation. You may remember within the last year, Bill and Hillary Clinton were asked to testify. They were threatened with congressional contempt when they said no, thank you. And then in the next week or so, the lawyers on both sides negotiated. They had some parameters. That may happen in the Fauci situation as well.
If you know that you have someone that's before you who's going to say, I invoke my Fifth Amendment, how many times, Heidi?
100 plus.
100 plus. Why don't you just say it once and then, get up and walk out?
Would be more efficient. It's a little bit like the baseball deal of if it's an intentional walk, why force the pitcher to throw 4 pitches? But the bottom line is that the questioner kind of likes the idea of the look of the witness saying no, 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 even to innocuous questions like, is that a folder sitting in front of you, sir? He answered, I won't talk, as to that kind of question. So there are a lot of theatrics in the situation as well.
Yeah. Well, Royal, we always appreciate you joining us and breaking it down. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks.
All right. Coming up in our final hour, we'll be joined by Mark Zinn, who covers politics here in the state of Missouri for Fox 2. We'll find out what exactly is on the ballot next Tuesday. So I hope you'll hang around and be a part of the show here on the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
I trust Pella Windows and Doors of St. Louis to help improve my home when it matters most. It's not just Pella's high-quality windows and doors. It's the local experts who know the St. Louis area so well. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects or 0% no payments, no interest if paid in full within 24 months. Call 833-87-PELA or visit pella.com/radio to learn more. 833-87-PELA or pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Are you looking for a deck? I am. And you know who I turn to? Outdoor Living and Pat Leahy. They've been a sponsor for a long time, and they've done some other projects for me, but this one's the big one. It's going to have metal framing, composite decking, and when it's all said and done, he's going to put a 50-year warranty on it. Not because I'm his spokesperson for all these years, but because I am a customer. Outdoor Living takes care of St. Louis. So if you're looking for a deck that will survive the heat and the winter and the sun and everything else, Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
I'm Michelle Franzen. President Trump vowing to retaliate after Iran carried out surprise attacks targeting U.S. sites in the Middle East overnight and today at a port in Egypt. ABC's Karen Travers says it comes just days after a pause in hostilities.
The president now for days has been insisting that the Iranians are desperate to make a deal, but there has been no public indication by the Iranians that they actually want to do that. And now we see this strike last night, those missile attacks on Jordan that, of course, were intercepted, shot down.
The war with Iran creating more uncertainty when it comes to oil and gas prices. The Federal Reserve Board today voting 9-3 to leave interest rates unchanged for now. New details in the federal investigation against FBI Director James Comey. He's accused of posting a seashell formation of 8647 that was intended, authorities say, to threaten the president.
Defense lawyers say prosecutors interviewed Sammy the Bull Gravano to ask if he believed Comey's experience prosecuting the Gambino crime family would have led him to believe the term 86 was a reference to murder. Gravano cooperated with the Department of Justice in the 90s and admitted to his involvement in 19 murders. But he told prosecutors that Comey's post wasn't a personal threat to Trump. Comey's lawyers revealed the details as part of their push to have the case thrown out ahead of trial. Peter Harolambus, ABC News.
Flash flooding remains a threat in portions of the Northeast following yesterday's severe storms. Here's ABC's Ginger Z.
We are going to see this same system produce more rain, and that's why we've got an area today of a level 3 out of 4, which is high, right? From Connecticut right through western Massachusetts into southern Vermont. You could easily see 1 to 2 inch per hour rainfall rates, 2 to 4 inch totals on top of what you've already had. We will finally spin this thing out of here by Friday morning.
The nation's midsection and western states dealing with searing heat with triple-digit temperatures hanging on this week. You're listening to ABC News.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02 and 87 degrees at Westport Plaza. I'm Brendan Wiese, and here's the latest from the KTRS newsroom. St. Louis Metropolitan Police updated the search for suspects today that ambushed officers during a traffic stop in North City last night. Multiple gunshots were fired at Metro Police and ATF. SLMPD spokesperson. Their reactions in what was a very precarious situation.
When you think about heroism, and when you think about acting quickly under immense amounts of pressure, these officers performed at the highest level of service that I think any community would expect. Not only did they take on gunfire last night, they then chased that shooter down into dark, heavily wooded shrubbery and was willing to risk their lives for the citizens of St. Louis. And I just cannot speak more highly of the work that they did last night and the effort that they went to try and make sure that this could not happen again to anyone in our community.
Again, the suspect still at large. Metro Police asking the public for assistance if they saw anything suspicious in the area of the ambush to contact District 6 detectives at 314-444-0001. Senator Josh Hawley grilled Dr. Anthony Fauci at a Senate Homeland Security Committee hearing this morning in Washington, D.C. Fauci's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic and his alleged pursuit of monetary cash rewards around the health emergency were on center stage.
You got rich while people were dying, hundreds of thousands of Americans, over 1 million in the end, and you were getting rich. And not only were you doing that, you were using federal employees with taxpayer money to apply for and solicit cash prizes for you personally. Cash prizes totaling over $1 million. You did all of that during the pandemic, didn't you?
Dr. Fauci then invoked his Fifth Amendment right following Senator Hawley's inquiries, as he did throughout today's hearing. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe is requesting President Trump approve a major disaster declaration to provide federal assistance to 9 counties in response to historic flash flooding and severe storms earlier this month. This marks Missouri's 3rd federal disaster declaration request of 2026. Joint preliminary damage assessments conducted by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the State Emergency Management Agency, and local officials estimated more than $26.5 million in emergency response costs and damage to public infrastructure in southern Missouri. This KTRS Business Minute is brought to you by Walter Knoll Floors, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 2 local establishments have been named among the best spots to seek out grilling supplies in America. According to a new survey done by MarketBeat, St. Louis is well represented in their list of the top 100 independent barbecue stores in the country. Smoke Ring Barbecue Supply in St. Peters ranks number 28, while St. Louis Barbecue Store ranks number 75. A check now on the markets presented by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturdays from 9 until 11 here on the Big 550. And at the close today, everything down pretty significantly. The Dow down 1,153 points at 51,594. S&P 500 down 112 to 73.16. The NASDAQ down 433 at 24,442. Now let's head on over to the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk. That's where we find the good captain himself, Paul Kopsky, standing by. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Brendan. The slumping Cardinals, who have slipped under 500 for the first time this season, play Game 3 of a 4-game series with the Cubs tonight at Busch. The Redbirds have been outscored 17-5 in the first 2 games and have lost 5 of their last 6. And St. Louis City SC has officially brought on Carlo Holsa. The former Turkish leaguer from Denmark will occupy a DP spot on the roster and will cost City their largest transfer fee in club history at $6 million. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. An accident on 270 South at Doherty Ferry is causing stop-and-go traffic back to Ladue Road. Estimated clearance time is 5:40. There's a crash on 270 South at Gravois with a bumper-to-bumper jam back to Tesson Ferry. 64 West is crowded from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker, and it's stop-and-go between Prospect and I-70. 64 East bogs down from McKnight to Big Bend. 170 South is heavy from Delmar down to 64. 55 West, slow between the King Bridge and Poplar Street Bridge, and 64 East is jammed between Illinois 157 and 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot. They'll have face painting, concessions, a stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, Paul, thank you very much. That weather forecast tonight, very comfortable. We'll be dropping down to about 69 degrees under clear skies. Tomorrow, increasing clouds throughout the day. We'll top out close to 89. Rain returns to the forecast by Friday and Friday night, lingering into the weekend. At 5:08, we've got sunny skies, 86 degrees at Westport Plaza. For the Talk of St. Louis, I'm Brendan Weesey on the Big 550 KTRS.
A native of St. Louis, a graduate of Country Day, 3 decades of broadcasting in the MLB
And the Cardinals have won this game 5-4.
and the NFL,
Patriots win the Super Bowl.
and now host of the upcoming ESPN Jeopardy! The Big 550 congratulates the induction of Joe Buck into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, receiving the Ford C. Frick Award. Joe and his dad, legendary Cardinal play-by-play broadcaster Jack Buck,
Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
are the first father and son duo to be inducted. Our very own KTRS Julie Buck could not be prouder of her brother. KTRS salutes and again sends congrats to the entire Buck family. We are the Talk of St. Louis, the Big 550, KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550, KTRS.
The 2026 primary election is next Tuesday. Mark Zinn, a state government reporter at Fox 2, joins us with a list of what's on the ballot. Thanks for making time for us.
Oh, of course. And, you hear the Missouri Waltz. That's my theme song, I guess.
It's a good one. It's not bad. So,
Yeah,
Mark,
not bad.
there are 4 amendments that affect everyone in the state of Missouri. Tell us first about Amendment 1 that has to do with soil and water.
Yeah, so it's a renewal of an existing sales tax. So a small percentage of a sales tax is already in service, and this has to come up every 10 years now for a sunset renewal. So it's really just a renewal of an existing sales tax, which goes to primarily the Missouri Department of Natural Resources to go to state parks as well as some soil and water conservation efforts.
And sometimes the way things are written, it's confusing. So if we want to maintain the tax, do we vote yes or no?
You would vote yes. Yes to extend the existing sales tax that would go to those state parks and other services.
And we've heard a lot of opposition to the other amendments that we're about to talk about. Any opposition to this?
No, I haven't really heard much, and I haven't seen any yard signs or anything like that in opposition, but there are yard signs in support, and the campaign, unofficially through, with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, they've been kind of hitting the ground running on it. So I haven't seen much in the way of opposition for Amendment 1.
All right, tell us about Amendment 4. What is this amendment?
Well, I don't want to skip over Amendment 2. I'll just quickly brush that one real quick.
Sorry.
It's okay, but it has to do with the election of county assessors for larger counties, charter counties in the state, and specifically looking at Jackson County. So right now, Jackson County is the only charter county that does not have an elected assessor. However, in a recent local election, they voted to go ahead and have a elected assessor, but that happened around the same time this was already put on the ballot. So Amendment 2 just deals with the election of county assessors, a real sexy topic.
But Mark, that'll be on all of our ballots, not just Jackson County.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
That's statewide constitutional amendment.
And this is weird because, McGraw brought this up with Melissa Price Smith. She is running for reelection as the St. Louis County prosecutor. But why do you make these positions run as Republicans or Democrats? It's very weird.
Yeah.
It's the assessor. It's the prosecutor. Why do they have to pick a side and be political?
Why do I care if my county coroner is a Democrat? Or not?
Yes.
I think a lot of people agree with you that there shouldn't be these party affiliations, for local elections. And the argument could be that, kind of disenfranchises some people that are running or people that potentially would run but didn't want a party affiliation or wouldn't otherwise get elected if they had that party affiliation. But it's something that's still in place. And believe it or not, it probably would take a proposed constitutional amendment to get rid of that.
Oh, all right. So now moving on to Amendment 4.
Yes. So Amendment 4 It's kind of complicated, but it at the same time it's straightforward. They call it initiative petition reform, and it's really trying to make it harder to amend the state constitution through citizen-led efforts to get that measure on the ballot. And there's only two ways to get a proposed constitutional amendment on the ballot, and one would be through the Missouri legislature, which is both how Amendment 4 and 5 and actually 2 are on the ballot this year. And then the other way is for a citizen petition process to, gather enough signatures to get that on the ballot. And so that's what that specifically has to do with, and then making that threshold a little bit higher to amend the state constitution. So maybe it is a little bit more complicated.
So, Mark, what this is doing, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just trying to follow here.
No, yeah.
It's trying to do away with people petitioning to get something on. Like if we vote yes for Amendment 4, that means we can't petition to get something?
No.
Okay.
You would still be able to do that. It just raises the threshold for that to pass at the polls. So right now, it just needs a simple majority vote for these citizen-led efforts. You just need a simple statewide majority to get that enshrined into the state constitution. And what Amendment 4 would do is raise the bar pretty significantly and say, hey, you have to get a simple majority, but you have to get a simple majority in all of the 8 congressional districts.
So it makes it harder to get what the common person wants to get on there. Who is for this? Who's behind it?
Well, there is a movement, mainly conservatives, who think it's too easy to amend the state constitution, and there's a case for that. I mean, it's been changed over 100 times here in the last century or so. But it's also these same politicians who can send stuff to the ballot and then just have a simple statewide majority right now. So it's kind of, I think there's also a general feeling that, if you wanted to, the initiative petition reform people, why would you go all the way down to the end of the goal line here and do this option when you could have, tried a 60% statewide majority or 2/3 statewide like other states have?
Yeah.
And Mark, I've seen a lot of politicians say, look, we're a republic and you elect us to make the laws.
Which is what they've done with a couple of things we voted on.
We voted on things and they've said, well, we don't really like that. Or maybe the electorate didn't know what they were voting for and they just throw it out. But when it comes down to me, I don't have time to go down to Jeff City and vote on everything. But when it comes to 1 or 2 things every 2 years where I actually get to vote on it, I kind of like that.
Yeah, and I think that, Missouri is one of the states that allows you to do that. Not all states are like that, but yeah, I guess, part of the issue could be, and it has been in prior years, that there are too many ballot questions on the ballot and they get confused or get confusing, and then it would only take, like in the situation with this sports betting, the legalized sports betting, a matter of just a couple thousand votes to pass to get that thing enshrined into the state constitution. So they'll probably be back. I talked to the governor yesterday about this particular amendment, and I asked if it fails Tuesday, will it resurface in a different form? And he expects that it would.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that led to Amendment 4 being on the ballot?
The governor yesterday pointed to a couple of statewide ballot measures in the past, including abortion, as well as the recreational marijuana vote. But I just think it's an overall thing that's been talked about for the last decade or two, just that it's too easy to get these things passed at the statewide level just by a simple majority.
If you don't agree with them.
Right.
Correct.
Correct. And amendment, I don't know what's more democratic than saying yes or no, and letting one person, one vote get to weigh in. But Amendment 4, Amendment 5, we'll get to that in just a second. But is there a reason why we're voting on this on August 4th and not on? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the governor has some strategy and has some political play behind that. And because he basically just gets the ability to assign which amendment to which election, just 2 options. And so they usually space it out. But perhaps in that thought was that Amendment 5, which we'll talk about here, that perhaps there'd be a higher percentage of Republicans that turn out in the August election because of other primary races that are going on. There probably was some strategy behind that, but it remains to be seen if that works.
All right, so let's move on to Amendment 5. I think we've talked a lot about this one. Eliminates the state income tax. Tell us more.
Yeah, so this is something that Governor Kehoe ran on, central figure to his campaign at least, and it would gradually eliminate the state's income tax, the current state income tax, and then replace it with other forms of revenue, and that would be, it looks like, in terms of taxes on other services that aren't being taxed right now. Well, that got the realtors kind of upset a little bit because they perhaps are operating under a service that would potentially get taxed, and they're been the primary funder behind the anti-5 campaign. But either way, if it passes, the legislature then over the next 5 years or so would have to go in and try to figure out how this would all work, if that makes sense.
So what do we do in the meantime?
Well, I guess we just continue to watch both these sides' advertisements.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
But if you mean, what do we do on after Tuesday if it passes? There are talks that the governor could perhaps call a special session as early as this fall to start dealing with that, or into next year with a whole new batch of legislators that will be in Jeff City come next year.
And at this point, we still don't know how we're going to offset what we are getting from the income taxes.
Yeah, the specifics really aren't there, but it's kind of a plan where if we are going to reduce this state income tax by a certain percentage, they'd have to have matching revenue kind of offsets there that would fill in the blanks.
And if we do away with it, could we ever bring it back or no?
I think so. You could, the last couple of decades have also shown you can do pretty much anything with the state constitution and direct state government in any way possible. So I think there's conventional wisdom that reducing or eliminating a tax in Missouri would be popular, but there is some pushback even from Republicans on that. But it would probably be just as hard, if not harder, to get that tax back into the state constitution.
Hey, Mark, have you seen any polls leading up to this? Because every time I see somebody post about it on Facebook, I always go to the comments and just see what the people are saying. It looks overwhelmingly no on both of these.
Yeah, it does seem like 4 and 5 are struggling, especially 4. And I think there's a general consensus that probably won't end up passing. Now, the governor remained optimistic that both 4 and 5 would pass. I think 5 will probably be closer, and it's just a matter of time. It's just to see how much of an outreach these people have here the last couple of days of the campaign, their get out the vote efforts. But the pro campaign for Amendment 5, the yes on 5 campaign, is outspending the no on 5 campaign by a 4-to-1 margin. And it doesn't seem like that impact has been felt yet.
It seems to me that the pro Amendment 5 people are not, I don't think they're marketing their idea very well, because to me, it's been bipartisan. Yeah, but what's going up with the sales tax? You know, if you say, well, no, milk and eggs and baby food, no, that's not going to go up. But, luxury items and things like that will go up. They won't tell you what they're going to do. And I think if it loses, that will be why in a bipartisan way.
Jam time. Yeah, absolutely. Had to get that in there.
I'll send you an invoice.
Yes, please. But I think there also is becoming a growing consensus that, they fumbled the messaging on all of this kind of from the get-go, and that it should be easier to axe a tax in Missouri than it's being right.
Yep. Yeah, that is so well put. We're talking to Mark Zinn, a state government reporter at Fox 2. Residents in St. Louis County will be voting on Proposition U, which is a local use tax. Can you tell us more about that?
I actually don't know anything about that.
Well, I didn't either. That's why I was looking at it, and I'm like, okay, but I'm in the city, so I didn't, I don't get to vote on this one anyway.
I'm not sure if that's a renewal, kind of with the same thing that Amendment 1 is, but the races, there are a couple of races to watch, especially the St. Louis County executive race here in the final days to see what comes out of that. I mean, that's something that's a race that's being watched statewide, as is the St. Charles County executive race on the Republican primary there, to be seeing what's going on.
Does the governor endorse anybody?
He's made a couple of endorsements in a state Senate campaign. in central Missouri, mid-Missouri, and then also for a congressional seat, Kansas City's 5th congressional seat. But he's been kind of quiet around these elections and trying to focus on the pro-Amendment 4 and 5 message. But it's been struggling to be heard, I think, is a fair way to look at it.
Well, Mark, it's always fun catching up with you and picking your brain a bit. Thank you so much.
You bet. Good to talk to you guys.
And like I said, I'll jump down to the comment section just out of curiosity, because it'll be a Republican posting or a Democrat post or whatever, a neutral post. And I want to know what people think about this. And they are all saying no on 4 and no on 5.
Well, you know what? We have a text line right here, the KTRS text line 84126. And we would love for you guys to weigh in on what you're thinking about Amendment 4 and 5 specifically. You can also call us 314-931-5877 if you want to share your thoughts. This is as much your show as it is ours. So give us a text, give us a call, 314-931-5877, or text us 84126.
And maybe it's unfair, but have you seen, I think it's for the tax one. There's a commercial running and she's, there's 2 different ones, and they're both older ladies, and they're like, I want the government to stay out of my pocketbook. They are both such bad actors that, it's like, I don't even care what the issue is. I'm voting no.
And it goes back to the marketing thing that Mark was talking about.
Very poor job of rolling both of these out.
Yeah, I'll tell you who does a great job, and that's SSM Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. And at the new hospital, which it is going up and it is going to be absolutely stunning. They're already kind of releasing some things, some programs that they're going to be doing there. And it just reminds you how lucky we are to have Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. So for most families, I mean, you think about childbirth and it's filled with all those first, hearing that baby cry or, getting that first cuddle, the first hours, just kind of getting to know your baby and look at it and thinking, oh my gosh, I made this. But for parents facing a high-risk pregnancy or a newborn who needs intensive medical care, those first moments are very different, very scary. And I can say my cousin and godchild, they were separated as soon as she was born. And they were even, in separate hospitals there for that first day. Well, Cardinal Glennon is hoping to change all of that. When the new SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital opens in late 2027, it's going to include the St. Louis region's first fully integrated Center for Maternal and Newborn Specialized Care, bringing labor and delivery, maternal specialist, fetal care, and the highest level of neonatal intensive care together under one roof. It is going to be remarkable, and it's going to keep those babies and moms together. You can learn more. You can read about some of the other great things happening at the new Cardinal Glennon at glennon.org. That's also where, if you want to make a difference, want to make sure that no kid is ever turned away, you can make a donation. Again, it's glennon.org. That's the foundation.
Over on the text line 84126. No. That's 5 no's. On 4 and 5, that comes from listener Liz. Someone said this is not good for seniors at all. Someone else said, does it matter what we think and vote? The state will just override it if they want to anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we've said that before, but we still, as they said, how many times has this happened? Feels like a lot, but we still have to go out there and vote. And then someone said no on all taxes. I don't know how that works, but
if only.
Yeah.
It's the GOAT. The greatest of all trade-in events at HW Kia. Bring your trade now and get up to $5,000 over book value for it. If your trade is old, tired, stinky, or being held together by duct tape and a prayer, HW Kia wants it. Paid off or not, bring that old goat in to HW Kia. Then drive home a new HW Kia K4 for just $189 a month. Yes, only $189 a month on a 24-month lease. It's the HW Kia GOAT event. The greatest of all trade-in events. Get up to $5,000 over book value for your trade now. New K4, just $189 a month. HW Kia in the heart of West County on Manchester Road. And remember, Big D wants to see ya in an HW Kia. Start now at hwkia.com. Summer sticker sales event with Approved credit to well-qualified buyers through Kia Finance. 2026 K4, $36.95 due at signing. Discount includes $850 in lease cash. 10,000 miles per year. No security deposit. Plus tax, title, license, and admin. Fee expires 7/31/26.
Hi, I'm Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I want your fixer-upper home. It's crazy to spend a ton of money fixing it up when I will pay you top dollar right now. I don't even care what condition it's in. Your trash is my treasure. No inspections, no contingencies, just cold, hard cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867. That's Mike Robinson, 314-283-0867, or at robangproperties.com.
What does the Science Center, Lambert Airport, the Magic House, McDonnell Douglas, and St. Louis firehouses all have in common? They all trusted their roof to Beatty Roofing. Beatty Roofing has been in business for 70 years. They're not storm chasers. They're based right here in St. Louis, and they've been doing it right for 70 plus years. And if you need a roofer, Beatty Roofing. In fact, first responders get an extra 10% off all roofs. 314-892-1331 or online, BeattyRoofing.com.
Hear me out. What if we go to White Castle and get the new garlic parm chicken sliders with juicy chicken, crispy onions, and garlic parm sauce? And what if we get the combo with 2 sliders, mozzarella sticks, and a drink? Yeah, that's a thing. And it's only $6.99. As your castle craving, it's my job to make sure you know this stuff. What if we go now?
New garlic parm chicken slider combo at participating castles for a limited time while supplies last. Tax not included. White Castle. Crave thy castle.
Are you looking for a deck? I am. And you know who I turn to? Outdoor Living and Pat Leahy. They've been a sponsor for a long time, and they've done some other projects for me, but this one's the big one. It's going to have metal framing, composite decking, and when it's all said and done, he's going to put a 50-year warranty on it. Not because I'm his spokesperson for all these years, but because I am a customer. Outdoor Living takes care of St. Louis. So if you're looking for a deck that will survive the heat and the winter and the sun and everything else, Outdoor Living, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. Outdoor Living or OutdoorLivingInc.com.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer. That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newssetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
A couple other people weighing in. No. 4 and 5. That's a different one from the 5 no's. No one on 4. No 5 amendment will allow legislature to set taxes without a vote of the people. And then somebody else saying our tax rate at 4% isn't that bad. Amendment 5 will hurt the poor the worst. So you guys keep your opinions coming. That's what we want to talk about. We want to know what you guys think. It is 5:32. Captain Paul, how's traffic?
Heidi, there's a crash on the 64 East on-ramp from Spady, and 64 East is congested from Lindbergh all the way to Big Bend. 64 West crowded from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker and between Prospect and I-70. 270 South is congested between Ladue Road and Manchester. 170 South heavy from Delmar down to 64. 6455 West is slow between Barack Obama Boulevard and the Poplar Street Bridge. And 64 East is jammed between Illinois 157 and 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot. They'll have face painting, concessions, a stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
I think we got a pretty good split of people, I guess it's 40 plus who typically listen to the Big 550 KTRS. 50-50 men and women. We might have more women than men. I don't know what the breakdown is, Republican versus Democrat, conservative versus liberal, but I haven't seen one yes.
No.
Isn't that interesting?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm for lower taxes, period. But it's got to make sense. It's got to make sense. And the movie Beverly Hills Cop. I ain't falling for no banana in the tailpipe. So, no, do this and we'll take care of it later. Whoa, yeah. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. I guess the person that said no on all taxes, I guess would be a yes.
Well,
on 5.
Or maybe they're just saying,
Well, no, because in the sales tax, they want them all gone.
They want them
all gone.
Okay.
Yeah. No to both. It's a gift to the wealthy on the backs of the poor. We deserve to be heard and counted in the initiative process. I agree with that. Here's a more interesting, little more frou-frou-y story about something you can weigh in on.
Oh.
A couple recently did their dream home build. And what they added has a lot of people calling them crazy.
Uh-oh.
You tell me what you think. This couple installed a $5,000, one second.
Bless you.
Sneeze proof. Oh.
Right. Commercial soda machine, complete with the remote chiller, the carbon dioxide setup. They use the machine daily. It has their 2 favorite drinks. It has Dr. Pepper and Diet Coke on it. They swap out the flavors. It's a fun conversation piece when people come over. There is some upfront cost and maintenance, but they say the machine has improved their life. And
improve their life
because it's just so easy.
Fountain soda.
You go to it. So
wait, this is a fountain soda machine.
Yes,
okay.
It is a restaurant commercial soda machine that they use multiple times a day, especially when friends and family come over. They frequently have the Diet Coke and Diet Pepper on tab, but they can switch it out. Do you think it's crazy?
Yes.
Or is that something that you think is pretty cool? If you went over to somebody's house and you saw that they had a soda machine, would you not be like, I just want a soda now. I just want to try it.
Well, here's the other key, though. You got to have that chewable ice.
Yes.
Like Chick-fil-A has.
Oh, yeah.
Or Sonic.
Or Sonic.
The crushed ice.
Or
Taco Bell has it.
Taco Bell.
Lion's Choice.
Lion's Choice. That's what I was thinking.
You can buy an ice machine that will make that. Like it'll sit in a corner.
I think they're kind of expensive, though.
Well, they might be. My neighbor has it, and it's fantastic.
It's cool. Yeah, very cool.
Or you can just go buy a bag at Sonic.
Oh, okay.
How much? I mean, this isn't that expensive.
$5,000.
It is?
You're not listening to me.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of soda
pop.
Oh.
But to your actual question, yes, I would think it would be cool if I went over to your house and you and Marcia had a soda machine. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, Diet Coke and Diet Dr. Pepper. What if I'm an orange soda guy?
You can switch it out, but they're saying these are the taps that they have. You can go get the other thing and plug it in, but this is what they have.
It's not easy to swap out the cereal bags.
The question wasn't, would you want it?
I know.
Would you think it was cool if you went to Heidi's house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'd think it would be cool.
Well, I would have to ask Dr. Johar, is this healthy?
Oh, is that right?
No.
I've seen what you're eating at your
Mr.
desk.
Health.
Hey.
You're not worried about that.
All right. This is like...
Somebody said back when I still drank caffeine and Diet Coke, I contemplating getting one.
Getting one, $5,000.
Yeah. And Liz said, when I win the lottery, I'm getting a soda fountain in my house.
Nice.
Yeah.
My friend has a movie theater in his basement. It's like, a big screen. And for fun, they've got the movie posters and they've got a popcorn machine. Like
That's
one of the
fantastic.
ones, one of the ones on the wheels. I just don't know how often Like, I don't eat popcorn when we watch a movie now.
Oh, I eat popcorn
I
constantly.
do too. I had
You
popcorn
do?
last night.
Yeah.
Well, I think if you have a movie theater at your house, you should get a $5,000
Soda machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
this
there
is-
are other things. Like, what made me think about this, and you guys are not even close to $5,000. Maybe it was $100. But we have a built-in ironing board because I hate setting up an ironing board.
I do too.
And having it set up, and because I
So
iron
you just- it's a
almost
drop down?
every. It's a drop down that's built into the wall.
Nice.
You know
that
how
I-
much comedy you could get out of that, Bob?
Yeah. Oh,
Why is that?
Oh, you open the door and it bops you on the head.
It doesn't fall.
Why? You oughta.
Okay.
So, okay. So anyway, so you had the ironing board.
Well, I'm just saying that is something easy that makes my life so much easier than going to set up an ironing board. And if somebody loves soda and drinks soda that much, I think that's a pretty cool one. I've also seen built-in espresso machines that if it's in the
now
wall,
we're talking.
I mean, it's just whatever you
Now we're
want and what
talking.
makes your life a little easier. So I kind of like this, you know?
84126, what would you, cost be damned, what would you have installed in your house that seems a bit ridiculous? Remember that story we did where somebody put a microwave in their bathroom?
No.
Because they wanted to heat up like their towels or their slippers or
remember that
something.
I don't either. I think
And
we
they
were
would-
off.
They would use, you guys were here.
Not for this one.
we were
I've-
listening to you.
I've
The-
never heard this.
But I'm close to that because I've got the soda machine, the bottled soda
Which
machine.
is pretty cool.
And I'm thinking about getting it cleaned up and putting it in the basement.
Oh, I think that would be cool.
For movies.
Somebody said any difference than this and a 3-tap behind the bar. Same
yeah.
neighbors that have the crushed ice. They've got a
They got a
keg
beer
dispenser.
tapper.
Yeah, beer tapper, which is so cool.
You gotta have you got to have a fridge for all these things. So maybe that's where some of the extra cost comes from. Because you got to keep the beer cold. You got to keep the.
Well, this thing is completely within its own machine with the
Yeah.
That's cold in a different way.
President Trump has the Diet Coke button, right? But before him, LBJ, just outside of the Oval Office, there's like a little private room
Yeah.
for the president, had a Fresca machine put in.
Fresca. How about a Fresca?
Yeah. So late 60s, Bob, was Fresca big back then? I don't even know.
That was the thing.
Yeah, that and Tab.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tab. Oh, that
Yeah.
was disgusting.
Somebody said we all have our indulgences. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Due to the overwhelming success of Country Club Car Wash's summer sparkler promotion, they're extending it until further notice. At Country Club Car Wash, make sure it says country, you can buy 2 ultimate washes and get 2 free. That's a total of 4 ultimate exterior washes for only $52 at Country Club Car Wash. Or $92 gets you 4 ultimate exterior washes and 4 interior cleanings. Available in-store or online, cccwstl.com. Country Club Car Wash, cccwstl.com/summer-sparkler. cccwstl.com.
This July, we celebrate our nation's 250 years of independence and the anniversary of the One Big Beautiful Bill. As a small business owner, you understand the freedom and independence that comes from owning your own business. Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisor Group and the author of the 2 #1 best-selling books on taxes, Keep What's Yours and Keeping What's Yours. We're celebrating 50 years helping small businesses maintain their independence by minimizing their financial risk to their business, reducing their tax liability, and growing their wealth with strategic tax planning. If you're relying on investment advice from someone who isn't familiar with strategic tax planning and you feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, give us a call. 636-394-5524. That's 636-394-5524 or online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust. And that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Connor Roofing is proud to be a small part of Christmas in July celebrating the heart of St. Louis, and thanks to 550 KTRS. This is Kathy from Connor Roofing. For years, we've been dedicated to protecting what matters most, your home, your family, and your peace of mind. As a local business, we believe in strong roofs and even stronger communities. Thanks for making us a part of yours. Connor Roofing, keeping St. Louis covered, one roof at a time. You can find us at connerroofing.com.
As we enter into the summer months, you might be thinking windows and doors. Yeah, and where are you going to go? You have lots of options when it comes to windows and doors. Let me tell you about a St. Louis company that everybody should know about. It's called WSWindow.net. It's run by Larry Thornton and his son, Joe. And they've been selling windows and doors in St. Louis for 38 years. They do most of their work with a handshake and a smile. There is no high-pressure sales. There is no jacking up the prices and then try and bring you down as they demand some type of signature on the dotted line. They'll shake your hand and say, we hope to hear from you. And they have been successful. They beat the big boys at their games for all these many years because they do it right. They have long-time installers, long-time employees. The Window Store. If you need windows, if you need doors, you want a great price, and you want to keep it in the St. Louis family. That's Larry and Joe Thornton. The Window Store. WSWindow.net. WSWindow.net.
Your retirement isn't just numbers on a statement. It's your family, your time, and your future. Listen to the Financial Safari with Greg Belger. Sundays at 5 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, let's talk some entertainment news. A list of surprising pre-fame celebrity connections includes Cameron Diaz and Snoop Dogg went to high school together.
Oh.
Jay-Z and Busta Rhymes had a rap battle in high school. If you're wondering, Jay-Z won.
Huh.
Scarlett Johansson and Jack Antonoff dated in high school.
Who's the Jack Antonoff?
He's a big producer and
he's done Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
That band Fun.
Yeah. A few other connections include John Krasinski and BJ Novak being friends before The Office. They played on the same Little League team as kids.
Wow.
Whoa.
Maya Rudolph and Gwyneth Paltrow became friends when they were 7 years old. Their dads were best friends in college. Steve Carell and Stephen Colbert were once roommates in Chicago when they were young comedians. Sabrina,
I think they were both
Second City,
weren't they?
Sabrina Carpenter's aunt is Nancy Cartwright, the voice of Bart Simpson.
Bart Simpson.
Wow.
Denzel Washington secretly funded Chadwick Boseman's college acting program. He actually assisted 8 other students as well. I always think that's interesting and kind of weird. We talked about this yesterday in the hallway, but Joe Buck says that Travis Kelce was a puddle watching his nieces walk down the aisle and then Taylor Swift, which is kind of cool.
Travis cried.
He said
at
a
the
puddle.
wedding.
Mm-hmm.
A puddle.
How about that?
Back on the field today.
Didn't Julie say that he signed an NDA?
I don't know. I don't think we can say anything else.
Oh, well, I think
Josh?
she said it on the air today
Okay.
with Carney.
Macaulay Culkin reportedly met with Disney to return for a Home Alone sequel. He publicly shared an idea last fall. Disney seems to be into it. His idea is that Kevin McAllister is a widower or a divorcee raising a son by himself. He said, I'm working really hard and I'm not really paying enough attention. And the kid is kind of getting miffed at me. And then I get locked out. My son won't let me in. And he's the one setting the traps for me. The house is some sort of metaphor for our relationship. I don't know. No?
Nah.
Okay. You're a purist.
Well, I think I'm not saying it couldn't be successful, but the Joe Pesci and his partner, Marv. Yeah, they were
Daniel Stern.
Daniel Stern. They were such a critical part of it. But I'm not saying it couldn't work.
Maybe. I don't know. I bet people would watch.
Yep.
You know what? How about this? They have their row together, but then they come together at the end of the movie because actual burglars show up.
Oh, yeah.
And now he has to show his son, see, this is how you set up the trap where you tar them with feathers.
You need to be in the pitch meeting.
There you go.
This is where you put the nail to make sure that they step on it.
All right. Well, tell me if you like this concept, because Peter Dinklage is going to play Santa in a comedy called Naughty, co-starring Jennifer Aniston as a woman who needs Santa to testify at her divorce hearing.
What?
Olivia Wilde is directing that one.
That could be pretty good.
Yeah.
He plays the real Santa?
Peter.
Yeah.
As for something to watch tonight, the streaming premiere of The Devil Wears Prada 2 is on Disney Plus, if you have it.
Oh, it is?
Uh-huh. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire is on ABC. You've got Ben Affleck and Jamie Ding in the hot seat, along with Jason Alexander and Wayne Knight, Tig Notaro, and Pete Holmes. So that could be fun. Nation's Dumbest, which I don't know why anybody would sign up for this show, but it's on Fox. So far, Elle King and Dr. Drew have successfully graduated. I don't know what that says about the remaining 10 celebrities trying to avoid being named the nation's dumbest and fight their way off the show. Carmen Electra, Anthony Michael Hall, Ice-T, Steve O. There's several others. Let's do some birthdays.
All right, I'm going to change it up a little bit today.
Okay.
I'm going to give you two names, and I'm doing it on purpose to confuse you.
All right.
Now, because the genre might lean too much into the wheelhouse of Heidi.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to give you a chance because it's going to be very confusing.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yes.
I'm going to give you two names.
Yeah.
You got to pick a age for both.
Yeah, and I get a 10-year window.
Well, and then I've got one for you if we have time.
Okay.
Ashley McBride
Mhm.
and Martina McBride.
Oh,
Are they sisters?
no, they are not related.
Shouldn't give them any hints.
Let freedom reign.
That's true. That's Martina. I'm going to say Martina McBride is 55. I'm going to say Ashley McBride is 46.
I'm not going to wager a guess, but I will just mention this. The Martina McBride Independence Day song is about her mom sending her to the county fair while she murders her father.
The father's been abusive, and she didn't murder. She just set the house on fire. You don't know
Josh,
that the
it's
dad's in
arson,
there.
not murder.
That's right.
Get your
No.
felonies
We don't
straight.
know if he got out.
We don't.
You're not even going to guess.
No, I'm not going to guess.
Martina is 60.
Ooh, she looks good.
She does. I was shocked when I saw that. And Ashley is 43.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, but I got one more. This is more conventional. Although you're going to have a tough one, I think, Heidi. Rush legend,
No, Geddy
rock and
Lee.
roll Hall of Famer, Geddy Lee.
What's his speaking voice sound like? If that's a singing voice, I'm very curious to see what his speaking voice sounds like. I bet he's 78.
75.
73. We got no winners today.
You know what, though? We're going to start opening this up to you guys. We want somebody to play, one of us or both of us. So tune in tomorrow.
We'll
Maybe
figure it
we'll
out.
play. It is 9 minutes before 6. We got to get one final check of traffic with Captain Paul.
There's a crash on southbound Lindbergh at Litzinger, just south of 64, with traffic stop and go from Conway. 64 east is congested from Lindbergh all the way to Big Bend. 64 west crowded from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker, and it's stop and go between Prospect and I-70. 270 south is congested between 64 and Manchester. 170 south heavy from Forest Park Parkway down to 64. We have debris on 141 north past Ladue Road in the left lane. 6455 west is slow between the King Bridge and the Poplar Street Bridge. And 64 east is jammed between Illinois 157 and 159. This traffic report is brought to you by Westport Plaza. Don't miss the Westport Plaza Family Movie Night this Friday, July 31st, for a free showing of The Sandlot. They'll have face painting, concessions, a stage show, and then the movie. That's the free family movie night at the Westport Plaza this Friday, July 31st, presented by Royal Banks of Missouri. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, so we talked about the Diet Coke machine in the house and Heidi's built-in ironing board. Okay, some people
It
are
doesn't
like,
iron the clothes, though. I still have to do that.
but some people would sit there and say, I don't need to be all bougie like that with my built-in ironing board. Some people would say, I just want a fresh coat of paint inside the house. And it totally makes a difference. And
that's for sure. It changes everything.
It's easy. It doesn't have to be expensive. While you're at it, paint the outside of the house. While you're at it, stain the deck. A fresh coat of paint on everything. Guys, I went to Six Flags. And the last time I was there 6 years ago.
Dingy.
Everything needed a fresh coat of paint. Well, they must have been listening because they did it. And it just makes it look better. Maybe they called Ruffino's Painting. Mike at ruffinospainting.com is the email address. Mike is my friend. He can be your friend too. He stained my deck. He can stain your deck. He can paint your house. He can paint the outside of your house. He can paint an amusement park. He can do it all. 636-655-0820. You don't need a Diet Coke machine or a built-in ironing board. Maybe you just need a fresh coat of paint. Give Mike at Ruffino's Painting a call. 636-655-0820.
Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer in St. Louis means your air conditioner basically clocks in with a full-time job. And if your AC is 15, 20, or maybe even 25 years old, it could be working a whole lot harder and costing you a whole lot more than it should. A newer, high-efficiency system from Premier Heating and Cooling can cut cooling costs dramatically compared to older units. In some homes, upgrading from a 20-year-old air conditioner to a modern, high-efficiency system can reduce energy use by 20 to 40%. And even a professional clean and check tune-up can improve efficiency, airflow, and help your system keep up during brutal heat waves. Add in a smart thermostat, and the Department of Energy says homeowners can save another 10% a year on heating and cooling costs. So before your old AC taps out during the hottest week of the summer, call the highly trained team at Premier Heating and Cooling. Financing options available. 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Summer is here, and it's not too late to book your next vacation or quick last-minute getaway with the travel experts at AAA Travel. AAA Travel makes vacation planning easy and stress-free with amazing deals on cruises, all-inclusive resorts, escorted tours, and family vacations. Take advantage of their great summer deals. Trips are booking up quickly, so book now to lock in better pricing and availability. Visit your local AAA travel office or go online, AAA.com/travel.
Every summer, homeowners make plans. A new grill, a backyard project, a family vacation. But what about the upgrades you'll enjoy every single day? If your windows are drafty, difficult to open, or your entry and patio door has seen better days, now is the perfect time to make a change. Renewal by Andersen makes replacing windows and doors simple with beautifully crafted products, professional installation, and a customer experience that's second to none. And right now, you'll save big. Get $1,000 off your patio or entry door purchase and take $400 off each replacement window. All you have to do is call 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Again, that's 877-WINDOWS or visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Is it time to make a change with your bank? Hi, it's Julie Buck for Triad Bank. They are a full-service financial institution with 2 locations, and they've been around since 2005 with a mission to provide a wide range of commercial and personal banking services. Here's their website. It's triadbanking.com.
Choose Pella of St. Louis for window and door replacement to help enhance your home. For a limited time, get 20% off Pella projects. Call 833-87-PELLA or visit Pella.com/radio. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
All right, let's wrap this show up with a random or two.
People who are colorblind are less likely to be picky eaters.
All looks the same.
You eat with your eyes
Maybe.
first.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I'm trying to rack my brain. What is the, well, maybe you just say it all looks the same to me. And then spiked and studded dog collars date back to the days of ancient Greeks.
Oh.
Who would give their sheepdogs sharp, spiky collars to protect their necks from wolves while they watched over
that's where
the
they would
shepherds.
attack.
They bite the necks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
That's
In every
interesting.
cartoon now, you see a dog. It's got a spike collar.
Spike.
Yeah.
Oh, nice job. You guys, thanks for hanging out with us on this Wednesday afternoon. I hope you have a great night, and hopefully you'll meet us back here starting at 3 o'clock. Until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
Whatever gets you through the night.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. We didn't get the nickname the St. Louis Corvette Kings by accident. We've specialized in Corvettes for over 30 years, and I need more. You have one for sale, especially C6, C7, and classic Corvettes. I'm an immediate buyer for very clean, low-mile examples.